everybody, and welcome to Foul Territory. We are psyched that you are here. Please subscribe, tweet us at FT Live, buy our merch at foulterritoryshop.com. AJ is live at Twins Camp. Great list of guests coming up. Erik, of course, is at home. I'm Alanna Rizzo in place of Scott Braun today. Guys, good to be with you. AJ, I'm impressed. You're all over the place as our spring training calendar continues. It is time to charge the mound, powered by Fox One.
Charging the mound.
All right, WBC quarterfinal is set, gentlemen. We had a live post game last night. It was me and Erik and Todd. AJ, I would like to get your thoughts on how it unfolded last night. Of course, Team USA is in because of Team Italy. You're purposely looking at the wrong camera just to piss off our director. You are unbelievable.
I'm not. I'm looking at the right camera.
You're looking at the wrong camera.
Oh, am I? I didn't even realize it. Sorry.
Such a troll.
Wait, the USA got through? I don't know. I fell asleep once Italy went up like 7-0 in that game. So wait, that's right. They did get through. And by the way, Vinny Pasquantino, what an interview after the game. 3 homers, and what an interview. And Bobby Witt, I guess he's going to have to buy him dinner or something along the way to thank Vinny for leading his team Italy to the victory. So therefore, USA kind of, I don't want to say backdoored their way in, but they didn't get in by winning the pool, which is what most people thought. So I'm happy USA is through, obviously, as a USA fan. Not the way they wanted to get through, but now they get Canada. So now they get to beat not only Mexico, but then they're going to get to beat Canada. So we're just going to control the whole North American continent in baseball, as we should.
Okay, so are you saying that you like the USA's chances moving forward? And we'll talk about the quarterfinal matchup between USA and Canada momentarily. But Erik, let's talk a bit more about Pasquatch. Vinny Pasquantino has been a jolt of energy. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about the espresso, my friend, in that dugout, but man, he's been good for that team. You got to love the way he's going about his business and kind of being the leader of Italia.
Yeah, he's definitely taking that captainship role. I mean, being the recruiter, trying to get everybody that's ever eaten pasta to play for Team Italy. I mean, he asked for the holidays. He asked for Pete Alonso. Like, he's taking all the Italian. Alanna, you might have been even asked to play for Team Italy. But honestly, like that's what you need in these things. You need that guy who is banging the drum for the team, for the federation. And they had a little bit of turnover because Piazza isn't there anymore. I think he was that guy that was really banging the drum. I know the Colabello family, different people behind Team Italy have been pushing for this team to put the best foot forward. And he was not good up until this game, batting-wise, but he has been an absolute vacuum over at first base. And the plays he's been making has kept his team in the games. But to come out and hit 3 home runs, first guy ever to have 3 home runs in a WBC game, like I had no idea. When that graphic came up, I was very surprised that nobody had a 3 home run game because there's some stinker of teams that you play against. And it was the first WBC game with 3 homers, and he stepped up and pushed his fellow American brethren onto the quarterfinals also.
The double kiss in the dugout, I just love it so much. And I have an idea for the espresso machine, guys. I think they should auction off that exact espresso machine when the tournament is over, and they should take the money, auction it off to somebody who would like to have that in their home, take all of the money and donate it to the Italian American Baseball Foundation. I think that would be an awesome idea. Vinny Pasquantino with a great post-game interview last night. Take a listen.
I'm caffeinated. I'm beamed up right now. So we're in a good spot. That was unbelievable, huh? You're welcome, USA. We were thinking of you guys over at your hotel. We were thinking of you guys, so I'm glad you guys could join us in the party.
So great.
I love it. By the way, the best part of that was earlier in the game when he hit his first homer and they asked Vinny what the flavors were, and he goes, "We got yellow and we got red." There was no, I don't know if one, and then they showed him it was yellow. We got, I think he said gold and red. Whatever.
Gold and red.
We have gold and red, and you just pick which one you want. The whole thing is great. Listen, this is tournament. I love this tournament. I know Kratzy loves this tournament. I think you love this tournament, Alanna. It's just awesome to see these guys out there playing, having fun. And then when upsets happen like Italy over USA, it makes it even more interesting and more fun. So, excuse me, my pasta I had last night because I had to eat Italian. I had to eat Italian to root for team Italy last night to get USA in. But it's just such a cool thing, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. The TV ratings have been unbelievable for this whole thing. So I think it's great. I hope we continue to more of this. And I hope they figure out a way to get the best players in the Olympics, even though the teams that are going to be in the Olympics, we'll talk about at a later date. There's only going to be 6 teams in the Olympics. It's sad. But anyways, I love the WBC, and I think it's awesome for the game.
Yeah, and the ratings have been great. You've been a part of that, AJ, on Fox with your team over there. So let's take a look at the bracket. Now we know the 4 games that are setting up for these quarterfinals. Of course, we have Korea and the Dominican Republic. We talked about the U.S. and Canada. Of course, Puerto Rico going up against Italy, and then Venezuela going up against Team Japan. Let's talk about Canada and the U.S. Obviously, when you think about these 2 teams, Erik, you think about hockey. At least I do. I think about pucks with U.S. and Canada. But here we go. In the quarterfinals between our neighbors to the north.
Well, I mean, before we get to the baseball part of it, I think Canada's got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder because most of Canada probably could care less if Canadian baseball loses to the U.S. But so far, America's 2-0 in the Canada versus U.S. exchange here with the women's hockey winning and men's hockey winning. So really, the baseball team, they've already had their little blip in the radar. They have to come out and they have to show out just like the hockey teams did. But all that to say, yes, the lineup is so much better. Yes, the pitching, the depth, all that stuff is so much better. But knowing Ernie Witt for a long time, longtime manager of WBC and Team Canada, pretty much every international game that they've played, Stubby Clapp has been a player on there and now on the staff for a long time. Larry Walker, it's the same cast of guys. And does that make them a better team? No. It makes them more cohesive. They don't have the Justin Morneaus anymore, the Russell Martins anymore. They don't have those bigger name guys, but they have guys that can step up and be a cohesive unit. I said it before, the reason Japan wins this is because they figure out how to play together. What that looks like statistically, I don't know. But what it looks like in victories, Japan's got 3 victories. Teams have played together, know the coaches, they have a very cohesive group. That's how you win in these tournaments. That's how you win in international baseball. And so you can't count Canada out, but I think America will definitely take care of business here with Logan Webb on the mound.
AJ, who is dropping the gloves in this matchup between U.S. and Canada?
Who's dropping the glove? I mean, do we really have to go there, Alanna? I mean,
we don't have to fight. I just, kind
of like what Kratz just said. We own hockey now. U.S.
Wow.
U.S. owns hockey now. We've owned baseball forever. Alanna, your Dodgers even ripped their hearts out in the World Series and took Canada's World Series away from them, right? So, I mean, at what point is Canada just going to give up? And, Mark, our fearless leader here, he's just waiting for him to become the 51st state is what I heard him say before the show. Where are we at?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just kidding, everybody. It was a joke. Mark did not say that. He said,
don't clip that part out.
Flip that out. Take it out. I'm just kidding.
No. Don't be like MLB Network and take shit down and then try to quickly put it back up and all that
I'm
stuff.
Just joking.
It is. The internet is forever.
Yes, forever. And by the way, that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. But South Park nailed it. Said it best. Blame Canada. What was the song? Blame Canada. The whole episode was blame Canada for everything. So that's where we're at as U.S. baseball fans. We're blaming Canada for everything.
Blame Canada.
How about when Whit come out?
Oh my gosh.
When Whit had to come out and actually get Paxton out of the game. That was funny. Did you see his face?
Yes. Because he had one more. If he threw one more pitch, he couldn't pitch, right? So they were like, ugh.
So they had to get him out, and he was laughing about it because he didn't want to because they already had that huge league.
And he's still throwing 97.
Yeah. Well, by the way, they said he was 92. He was 96, 97. Is he making a comeback?
Well, see, if there wasn't the pitch count, you could just roll him out there because he doesn't play for a team. He's retired. You could just wear him out. But with the pitch count, you can't do that. Oh, and Casey, guys, he's a good player. He's a good guy. Up and comer.
There's a lot of good. Naylor brothers are on Canada. Tyon, Soroka.
Abraham Toro is having a great series. Mike Soroka has made. I mean, he was just on a show just a couple of weeks ago talking about the different changes that he made. This is the beauty of baseball. This is why we say at the beginning of every year that the Dodgers build their team. Oh man, Dodgers are just going to win all 162 games. It's not for a lack of effort. Players want to win every single game, but the game of baseball will humble you because you can hit 101 out of the ballpark down the left field line, but you sometimes can't figure out how to hit a sinker down and away through the middle infield. Like, it's a hard game, and when you have Michael Soroka on the mound, Canada has a chance to win. When you have Abraham Toro in the batter's box, they have a chance to win. Owen Casey, you have a chance to win. You have Bo Naylor behind the dish running that pitching staff. They have good pitchers. They have good players. And you just need to put together 9 innings, and you can move on to play most likely the Dominican or Korea.
All right, Erik. So if Canada wins, it's because why?
Because the pitchers were able to execute their pitches. Just like Lorenzen did, just like Michael Lorenzen did for Team Italy. He executed his pitches in the zones where that vaunted lineup could not hit. And it's different for each hitter. So a pitcher has to be able to make those adjustments and not just try to outstuff this lineup.
AJ, the U.S. wins. Why?
Because we're the United States and we win. That's all we do is win. That song,
No matter what. Marca!
DJ Khaled, Dr. Phillips High, another one. Listen, the U.S. wins just because they're a better team. Listen, could something happen? Yes, like it happened against Italy, 100%. But they had their loss. They got their bad game out of the way. Now they roll. And listen, you guys can say what you want about Mark DeRosa, but he knew they were through the whole time, guys. So let's stop with the Mark DeRosa slander.
He did? What are you talking about?
He said we're through. He said we're through the quarterfinals. They were through the quarterfinals. He knew.
No, he said that, their ticket was punched, right? So he knew.
He knew. He was thinking ahead of the game.
Yeah, I mean, somebody in this camp should have figured that out.
Anyways, we're not going to go into it. We went through that yesterday. I feel bad a little bit for that whole debacle, because there should have been other people like we talked about yesterday. Alanna's telling him, no, that's not true. But that's neither here nor there. U.S. wins again because they're the better team and they should win, and they're going to win.
Carter Hawkins 113 in our chat says, if USA starts hitting with runners in scoring position, guys, they are taking gold. They need to do more of that, right? I would imagine it's a good idea.
They're not going to win. I don't think they're the favorite to win gold. I don't even think they're the favorite to go to the finals from their side of the bracket.
Really? So they get by Canada, but they don't get by whom?
DR. Unless Korea can take down. I think they have a chance if Korea takes down the Dominicans somehow. I just feel like they're a train.
Can I just add? I swear, and I could be so wrong in this, and that's fine. I'm used to being wrong. I swear the U.S. couldn't play Dominican or Japan until the final, but now the way the bracket's lined up, and then it's
let's put the bracket back up if we can, guys, and show our peeps what you're talking about. So they can play the Dominican if the Dominican beats Korea, and then they would only play Venezuela if they got to the final.
No, Japan.
No.
Japan is who?
Japan. Yeah, but I originally thought it was Dominican and Korea were on the other side of the bracket, and Japan and Venezuela, and then Italy and Puerto Rico were going to be on the U.S. side of the bracket. But I was clearly wrong with that, which is good. But I mean, if it's U.S. Dominican semifinal, that is going to be much fun. Much fun.
Well, that should probably. I mean, all things being considered, with the talent you guys just talked about, barring anything crazy, it would be USA and the Dominican in the semifinal. And it's probably going to be, let's just say, Italy and Japan in the other semi, right?
I think Puerto Rico
can't beat Italy. I'm certainly not suggesting that.
I like that matchup. Like if you're talking about the first round, the games that I want to see, I think that might be the closest matchup. I think Puerto Rico's. I think they're running Seth Lugo back, if I'm not mistaken, and I think I think it's a good. I think that's the matchup that I really want to see. I think that's going to be the closest game.
All right, let's talk about Logan Webb, Michael Soroka. Where are each of those strengths, guys, as we wait for Royce Lewis to join us on set with AJ, who is live at Twins camp? Erik, I'll let you break down Logan Webb, and AJ, you take Soroka.
I mean, Logan Webb's an easy one. I appreciate that. That's a layup. You're talking about a guy who's probably a top 5 pitcher in the game right now, and he does it. If you look at his peripheral things, like his velocity and the fact that he doesn't throw that big 4-seamer all the time and just blow guys up. No, he runs probably, in my opinion, starting pitching-wise, probably one of the best 2-seam fastballs. Both sides of the plate, he's able to run it in on the hands. When he added that 4-seam fastball, now his home run damage went way, way down. Like guys weren't able to just stay down, and stay on him in one location. And then that changeup is it's one of the best sinker changeup combinations in the game. And he throws strikes. If U.S. defense is ready, there's going to be a lot of ground balls. There's going to be a lot of quick outs. And I could see him going 6 innings here. I know they have a great bullpen, but Logan Webb has the ability to keep his pitch count low and get deep into the game.
Okay, after Logan Webb, though, Erik, as we continue to talk about this, where do you go from him? Because Skubal's gone, right? Skeens is gone. So who do you like after Webb?
What do you mean, as starting pitching or relief pitchers?
Starting.
Well, they'll go back to Skeens in the semifinals.
Okay.
Skeens will pitch again, so that's huge. And then it's Nolan McLean. I mean, you're talking about the finals, and I love that Skeens is pitching the semifinals. Would I love to have Skubal then Skeens? Yeah, absolutely. We can't have it. I also would like to eat a lot of ice cream and not get fatter. But the opportunity for Skeens to pitch in that game gives them the chance to, because that might be their toughest matchup. The Dominican might be their toughest matchup, and so I think it gives them an opportunity to make it to the finals. And I would go ahead, if I'm the manager, I would go ahead and give Nolan McLean another opportunity. He was in the fire. He saw what it takes. He knows the feelings that he's going to have. It was his first playoff type of atmosphere. And, I think it sets up really well. But the game really is going to be won mostly in the bullpen. And which team can pitch the best out of the bullpen when you start talking about semis and finals.
Sounds like the regular season and the postseason. Who has the better bullpen? This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Fox One is now live. Stream all your Fox favorites together in one place, from MLB postseason to NFL on Fox to big noon Saturdays with Fox One. You get it all live. Start your 7-day free trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions. Fox One, streaming now.
I'm here with Royce Lewis, Twin star. By the way, Erik, if you want to lose weight and stop eating sweets, just do like I did and give it up for Lent. So it's easy. Just become Catholic overnight and just give it up for 40 days and you'll look
overnight.
Great, right?
Yeah, I went to Catholic school. I can attest.
See? What'd you give
Royce,
up for
don't you want to
a good food? It's there.
No, that's called spring training.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you like to eat? I love ice cream. I love ice cream. But what's that thing for you that you're like, I know I shouldn't have it, but I'm gonna get after it?
Sure. Yeah, I love ice cream, chocolate chip cookies. I think those are hard ones to beat, man. Haagen-Dazs coffee is my go-to. So,
really?
Yeah.
The ice cream?
The ice cream.
You put that, you can put, there's these restaurants that have this thing, a skillet, and they bring out this cookie, and then they put the ice cream on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it melts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called a Pizookie. It's called a Pizookie. Pizza cookie.
I'm all in on the Pizookies. It's good in Fort Myers too. We got one like 10 minutes away, so it's like,
oh really?
Oh yeah, I know where to go.
So you go there all the time?
No, I actually haven't been there any time.
They weigh these guys in now. They weigh these guys in now every day when they walk in and do their body fat. It's changed a lot.
It's totally changed, even since I've come up, and it's just different, but it's unique, and I think it's growing. You could tell.
Okay, so I told this story the other day, and I got to ask Royce this since we're in Twins camp. When I was at the Twins, when I first got here, we didn't even lift weights. We didn't have a weight room here. We had nothing. We didn't have a strength coach really. We had one, but he was just kind of there because they didn't like it.
Sure.
We also had like no food restrictions, so now they have dinner and everything here for you.
Oh yeah.
So do you eat 3 meals a day at the ballpark? Because for me, it was like Hot Rod, who was one of our assistant clubbies,
right,
who's the equipment guy here. He's like, yeah, when you guys were here, there was PB&J and maybe a tuna fish sandwich.
Yeah.
So what, you guys get 3 meals a day at this place now?
Yeah, they serve breakfast and lunch.
No dinner
for the day games. No dinner because everyone's pretty much gone by then. So it's really nice, honestly. I get the same meal every day for breakfast. Lunch is great.
What's your breakfast?
It's a egg scramble with bell peppers, spinach, and sausage and ham.
Gosh, you guys have
changed
so they've changed so much.
Leaned out over here, you know what I mean?
Changed so much around here.
All right, last Twins throwback question, because AJ and the Joe Mauer poster behind you are what we'll discuss the whole time here. But last one, this is how much it's changed too. AJ used to have to pay for his extra sets of equipment because the team wouldn't pay for
no
fleece.
No. Let's get the story straight. It wasn't extra. Okay. It was we asked for a fleece. We asked when the first fleeces came out.
Yeah.
The Twins said no. We play in the Metrodome. Okay. We don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
It's 72 degrees every day, so we don't need the fleece.
Right.
And we're like, but every other team has them, and they wear them when they come to the Metrodome. Right. No, guys, we can't have it. So we had a player, Mike Fetters, buy them for the whole team.
Good player, good teammate.
Right?
Good teammate.
Thank you.
But no, I think that's a little tough. You still have 81 games not in the Metrodome.
Thank you.
I need that fleece.
Right?
Plus, it's swaggy. That's a good look.
That was when nowadays everyone has 7 hoodies, this and that, shorts and all this stuff. We had nothing.
I like the old school baggy look.
Oh, yeah.
Even in the NBA, you bring that kind of look back, it looks way better.
The pajamas?
Yeah, the pajamas.
I like it.
Absolutely.
How's camp going?
It's going wonderful, man. I feel like I've finally grown into a good routine and understood like where I need to be in camp for the season and get ready for March 26th. And it's exciting having quality at bats for the most part. I'm still human. I'm going to chase that changeup that looks really enticing to hit, but it's fun. It's going really good.
What do you need? You said, I feel like I know what I need to do to get ready for the season. What does that look like? What is the difference?
Yeah, the biggest difference, honestly, was 2 things. 1, confidence, and 2 is a good routine. Having a great routine in which I come in every morning, I do the same thing. It's pretty much like rinse, clean, repeat. And that's all I'm doing right now in spring, and it's really nice. It's been fun, and honestly, it makes my body feel better too. So, yeah, I'm just enjoying it. And no BJs at night, no BJs. The Pizookie.
Okay. Look at that. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say no. I was just like, wait, what?
The Pizookie, yeah.
Okay.
We'll get on topic.
That's the restaurant. That's the restaurant that sells the Pizookies. It's BJ's Restaurant.
BJ's Restaurant, yes. Oh, my goodness. All right.
It's BJ here, all right?
That's what he said.
Alanna, go ahead. Ask your question, please.
Royce, it's a family show. We'll work on that. You had mentioned 2 things, getting a routine and building up your confidence. The routine is something that you can put into practice mechanically, doing the same thing every day. But how does one improve their confidence?
Yeah, I think for me, honestly, it was just like having a good, routine in the off season too, that started right away, which is, running and feeling confident in my legs again. Lifting heavy, so I have enough power and gain that power, and I feel like every day I can come to the ballpark and hit a home run and not feel like it's coming off the bat weak. And so those are 2 things for me that I focused on, right, as well as eating right and just having fun with my family and taking advantage of that off season. Carried over really well into spring and have been kind of just on that repeat schedule.
Yep, I thought Kratz. Sorry, Kratz, I thought you were going. It's me. You put the camera on me. Oh, my Slack is whacked today, so just ignore the Slack. I'm trying to keep up, and it's jumping around. So, third base. for you. How do you stay on the field at third base every day? Because when you're on the field, you're an unbelievable player. How do we get you to stay at third base every day on the field?
I think it's just going out there and playing third base every day too. This is going to be huge. Playing less DH at the end of last season, that was huge, and it helped me kind of be healthy for the last 80 games there, where I was available and ready to go for Rocco, whoever, wherever he needed me. And playing third, now that I feel like I've kind of settled in and got that confidence as well over there, it was just so uncomfortable at first. It's a totally different position than short, even though, left side of the infield. But at shortstop, you have that time. You have a little bit more range naturally, just by being, 10 feet further back, whatever it is. And at 30, you really got to cut the distance and get those plays, get those short hops. And once you catch a ball, they should be out, and so we're working on making those good throws, and it all starts with your feet. And I think that is key for me, is just going out there every day, and that'll help me be out there every day.
What's the difference? Explain that to people. Is it just quicker? Is everything just quicker? The angle's different? Because you came up as a shortstop, right, and then obviously now you're at third base. Is it just the angles? Is it the quickness of the game? What's the biggest difference that you've noticed?
Yeah, I think the toughest plays for me are, going down the line, farther away from first. Balls hit 116 off of, Stanton's bat coming at, and you're playing like middle depth because it's double play depth. And those are the kind of ones that are like, you get you back on your heels a little bit more. And as you settle in, you're like, okay, I need to play underwater over here. I got plenty of time. As soon as you catch it, they should be out. And so I think, the best players in the game, they kind of play so smooth over there. Manny Machado, Bregman does a great job. There's a bunch of guys, but all those guys, they play underwater. Brian Hayes is wonderful. And when you watch them, it's like slow motion. So that for me is the key.
Well, then any advice for Bo Bichette? Because he just went from short to third with the Mets. If you could talk to Bo Bichette, what would your advice be for him?
I mean, I think Bo's very talented. He'll figure it out. But I think the best thing I would say to Bo would be just, cutting the distance was so huge for me. And it took me like a year and a half to figure that out myself. And so, what I mean by cut the distance is like, if the ball is here and you can go, let's say 90 degrees towards it to pick it up, that's 2 more hops. But if you go at a 45 and get it, and it's only 1 more hop, it gives you that much more time to get the runner out. It's a longer throw. You can set your feet, take your time, and typically runners, especially in the big leagues, playing on 162 games, they see you catch the ball and they see you set your feet right. They're probably going to not give it 120% effort down the line, so it gives you a little bit more time.
Outsider's point of view, when your name's brought up, when Byron Buxton's name's brought up, they say, man, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit if they can stay healthy. And I've heard you say about your routine and everything and getting that under wraps. What can you what have you been able to glean from Byron going through the different injuries, weird injuries here and there, and then putting together a full season, and then boom, Byron Buxton. He's a top 10 MVP candidate.
Yeah, Buck is amazing, man. I'll tell you that right now real quick. But the talent, I think when you have so much talent and you got a quick twitch ability, I think sometimes it's harder to harness that. And I praise the Bobby Witts and the guys that are able to, have that quick twitch ability, but also stay healthy, because they're able to harness that ability. And I think that's the name of the game, honestly, is, you have so much God-given ability and honestly responsibility for the game to be out there and be healthy and for your team. And I think harnessing that in is something that's been huge. And I think for me this year, that's the biggest takeaway as well. Going into spring is I was able to harness that ability. I don't have to run 120% down the line. I'm able to, take my time, understand when, hey, I'm out. These guys are really good too. They drive Mercedes too, and so just play the game and have fun doing it.
Humble brag, by the way, too. They drive Mercedes too. Not that they drive Mercedes, but two.
Yeah,
awesome.
now we know that Royce Lewis drives a Mercedes. Good to know. Royce, you have a new manager at the helm, but it's not a guy you're unfamiliar with. Obviously, Derek Shelton's been there for the last couple of seasons. What has his managerial style been like with you in terms of, I know guys are always talking about level of communication, open communication, and he seems to be that guy. What more can you tell us about what you've noticed as him as your skipper?
Yeah, honestly, the huge communication piece, but also the setting the standard of, everyone's going to be working hard. Everyone's going to be going on the road in spring.
Wait, you have to go on the road?
Yeah, we've been going on the road.
You got them gray pants?
Yeah, the gray pants are in the locker.
Buxton don't have no gray pants.
He's on the road. He's in Houston right now. So no, it's just setting a standard. We're a younger team, obviously, and so to be able to have that opportunity to set the standard for the young guys to see a good example, from Buck, from Josh Bell, from Carantini, all these guys that have been there, done that. Ryan Jeffers, Joe Ryan, even his first game back was on the road, played Tampa Bay. So we're not leaning towards favorites. We're all playing as a team. We got 26 different leaders in that locker room, and that's how we're going to play. And Shelty's doing a great job.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean just because you're a leader, that means you don't go on the road.
Yeah, sometimes.
You got some time now.
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't feel like that. I never act like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Royce, don't change. Don't let that salt just get all over your nice uniform. AJ will.
I know saltier people. Trust me. From St. James, just go straight from.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's got LaTroy here now. Trust me, he ain't seen salty yet.
Now there's some salt. But my question was going to be, Shelton was the bench coach. Derek Shelton was the bench coach when he was here. Now he's the manager. Is it hard for some guys when you see somebody that was in a different role now being the jefe? Is it hard to have the same relationship because it's like, well, I was this, now I'm this? Or has Shelton been able to meld into that, to easily ease into that role and be the same guy that he was before?
Yeah, great question. Absolutely not with Shelty. I think he was born to be a head coach. I truly do. I think he leads. He's like a born leader. He leads very well, very smooth, very easy. It's like gravitational. Like everyone kind of goes towards him, ask him questions, very open to, his style of coaching, which I really, want to applaud him on that for one, but also the staff he put together is helping him be better persons as well. Having Grady Sizemore, LaTroy Hawkins back here. It's going to help all of our young guys gain some knowledge, but also just kind of calm us down a little bit when times get stressful. There's going to be points in the season when we go, 2-8 on a 10-game road stand or something crazy like that. And to have those guys that have played the game at a high level and played it very well is going to be huge for us going forward, no doubt.
Is there anybody left from when Shelton was here, though? Was Buck even here?
Yeah, Buck was here.
Buck was the only one, right?
It was my first big league spring training camp.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Because I'm like, I know you weren't here in the big leagues when Shelton was here.
No, but it was my first big league camp. So I met him.
Was he the one that sent you down? When you got the call to the office?
No, Rocco.
Oh, it was Rocco? But, Shelton had everything to do with it, right?
Actually, I'm sorry. It wasn't even Rocco. It was Paul Molitor.
Oh, Molly was still here? Where is that old fart?
Man, he's around. He's He's good, man. He's
supposed to be here. I've been looking for him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him here yet. You're right. That's a good point. But he's
I played with Paul Molitor.
Crazy, right?
Right?
What a player.
Yeah.
He played with some stud players.
I played with some old people. That's what I did.
Not old people, but studs.
All right. Before we let you go, I do have to ask you this because I've never gotten a chance to ask this. You have one of the great quotes of all time. And I don't know if I'm going to attribute to you. I don't know. And you said something like, I don't slump, or I don't believe in slumps, or do you remember what you said? It was something about like, I won't go over 20 or I don't do slumps. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah. Like the word, like, I don't think of it as like a slump. I think of it as like, cause I think when you put yourself in that mind frame of like, oh, I'm slumping, that's like, oh, everything's going wrong for me. And it's very negative. I think that's what I was trying to portray. I think if you knew who I was as a person, you'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not a cocky guy. I'm not going to say I'm a hitter. We're going to get out a lot of
course.
So I expect to get out. It's going to happen a ton more. But when I said that, I meant initially, like, I don't do that word. Like, I don't put myself in that negative headspace. I really just, because they're like, oh, you went 0-for-3 yesterday. That was the first time you went hitless, da-da-da. I remember all about it. Trust me. That was a tough time for me, man. People take my words out of context. I'm like, oh, shoot.
That's what I wanted to. It was awesome because what you said, I took it the way you said it as.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
like,
it's hard.
I don't want to talk. I'm not going to talk like that because it brings me down, makes me think bad.
Yeah.
And I think some people were like, oh, if this guy goes 0-for-5, like, we can't. He thinks he's too cool, right? And I didn't take it like that at all.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had that because I'm like 0-for-7. I'm going, oh my gosh, Tom Kelly's not going to play me for a month. Oh gosh.
It's so easy to freak out. And get stressed out and bring that home. And I don't accept to do that. I choose to leave it at the field. Like, at the end of the day, it is a game that we're playing for fun. And you got to, accept that blessing and just remember that how much fun you're having. Like, I'm playing out there like I'm a 10-year-old kid. And when I'm not doing that, it does feel like I'm in a slump and it's not very fun. And so I choose to, play like a 10-year-old and not be in that negative headspace.
I love it. Explain, please. We're going to talk after he leaves, and I want to learn how to do that because that's amazing.
Yeah, it usually takes a much more veteran player to realize you can leave it at the game and just try to let it go. You have to have a memory of a goldfish, like Ted Lasso says, right? Royce, we appreciate you very much, man. Stay healthy. You are such a good star in this game. We're looking forward to seeing what you can do this season. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey, thank you, guys. I really appreciate it, man. It's been great. It's good to see AJ, man. Not salty, all right? Let's put that on the record.
He's pretty salty. I'm not going to lie.
He's salty. There's a lot of salt.
All right, Royce Lewis of the Minnesota Twins. We appreciate it very much. All right, guys, the Foul Territory Spring Training Tour is engineered by Fastenal. Check out fastenal.com. More information. The spring training tour continues. AJ and, of course, a lot of the other guys out there for so many days. Look at all the camps, guys, that we have covered. Of course, we're at the Twins today. Tomorrow, it is the Boston Red Sox, Tigers, Pirates, Blue Jays, and Phillies round things out before Major League Baseball, the regular season, starts on the 25th, 26th. We're right around the corner. All right, so let's talk about some of the Major League Baseball teams, guys, in terms of their players who are crushing the World Baseball Classic as we lay out for the Hot Corner. Erik, let's talk about the Colorado Rockies. Let's talk about Michael Lorenzen. I know. We don't often do that here, but they're giving us a reason to. And Michael Lorenzen has looked really good pitching for Team Italy with, just so far what he's been able to do. Not only Lorenzen, but also with Lions as well. So, I mean, they're doing some good things, those Colorado Rockies pitchers.
Sure. Yeah, no, they are. They are. And I have no doubt that Michael Lorenzen, he's built for these types of moments in WBC. It hurts my heart to see an older guy have to go to a place where he's there to mentor guys. And there's nothing wrong with that. I loved that part of being a player because I didn't play that much, but I love the part of being a player where you get to mentor younger players. You get to mentor guys that just don't have the same amount of experience. And he will be a stepping stone for the Rockies if they're able to get back to success. If they're able to get back to the postseason, there will be guys on the team that'll say, yeah, back in 26, Michael Lorenzen really had a lot to do with my work ethic, my nutrition, the way, I attacked hitters in Colorado, blah, blah, blah. It can go on and on. And to see him in this stage have success, it's just going to be another time when he's going to go and he's going to, have a decent season in Colorado and then get picked up at the trade deadline. That's pitching in international baseball, whether you're facing the lowliest team or you're facing the vaunted United States. It is a different environment. You have a different feeling. Your heart is beating at a different rate. And it's the closest we can get to the playoffs to see how guys react in different situations. And you see the success that the Rockies pitchers are having. I'm not really that surprised. Cigano has plenty of experience. Yeah, maybe it didn't go as well as the Orioles had hoped, but to me, I thought it was a decently successful season for him. And then Jose Quintana, why this guy only gets one year deals every year, I have no idea, because all he ever does is go out and get outs.
AJ, they're shoving the Rockies pitchers that are being represented in the WBC. It's nice to see these guys having some success. Hopefully that can translate back to their regular season with their home club.
Yeah, sure, Alanna. Sure. You still got to go pitch in Colorado for 81 games.
Yeah, that wasn't an excuse. He wouldn't let. I know Buddy Black's not there anymore, but he wouldn't let his pitcher say that pitching in Colorado was an excuse. Jim Leland hated managing there, but
then they should have won more games. What do you want me to say? I mean, it is a thing. It's a real thing. I'm sorry. Humidor, no humidor. I know nobody wants to use it as an excuse. Nobody wants to say it, but it is a real thing. So listen, the Rockies want to be good. They made some changes to the front office after a long time. They're bringing in some different ideas. The Rockies pitchers are doing good, and we'll see how it carries over when they have to face the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and the Giants. So then we'll see.
Tough division. Tough division.
So, like the Rockies, the Red Sox, specifically Jarren Duran, Roman Anthony, they're having a pretty good WBC as well. You got to like what you see, especially with those two young guns, guys, in terms of, and guns I'm not meaning that by arms, but the Jarren Durans and the Roman Anthonys of the world. Respectfully, Jarren Duran for Mexico. I know they're not in it anymore, but Roman Anthony, obviously for Team USA, who is there because of the injury to Corbin Carroll. Future bright, Erik, for Boston?
Yeah. We knew this. We knew the future was bright. That's why we were surprised that they didn't bring Bregman back and the impact he had on them last year. But the future's bright, and the Red Sox fans can thank Chaim Bloom. The Red Sox fans can look to a guy. Now, Jarren Duran's name was in the mix of possibly getting traded if they needed to add a bigger piece to their starting rotation, which they did other ways, and now they still have him, and they continue to have a good logjam. I just think it's one of those things that when you have youth, when you have young left-handed power hitters, I guess I would consider both of them power hitters. Jarren Duran's more of a doubles guy, but he's that like energy. And I just hope with Roman Anthony, I hope he can glean from his time with Team USA, being around MVPs, what it takes to be an MVP. Does he have the physical skills? Absolutely. But it's the pressure. It's the pressure of thinking in Boston, because they didn't bring back a Bregman, because they didn't go get Pete Alonso, that guy that was going to be the aircraft carrier. To me, I think the Red Sox organization is looking to Roman Anthony to be that aircraft carrier, which is a lot to take on as a rookie, as a young – he's not a rookie anymore, I get it, but as a young guy in the lineup. And I think it's something that being around Aaron Judge, MVP, Paul Goldschmidt, MVP, Bryce Harper, MVP. Like you go around the entire room and you're like talking to these guys. What did you feel like in July? I pulled my oblique and was out in August. What did you guys do for this? Like those are things that if he's going to carry this Red Sox organization, which they feel like his talent will, this time with Team USA and being around these guys could be more valuable than anybody will ever know.
That is a lot to ask of a 21-year-old kid. Obviously, he does have the poise and the promise, but that's a lot of pressure on a young kid. Let me ask you this, AJ, with Masataka Yoshida, when you're around these parts, I live in the Boston area, when he is your DH, that seems to be a little bit problematic. You don't necessarily think of Masataka Yoshida as a DH, but right now in the WBC, he is a monster. What would you like to see him do more of in the regular season to help lengthen this Red Sox lineup?
Hit.
That would help.
Now,
hit big league pitching.
Probably should hit. Well, yes. Hit big league pitching, probably hit velocity, and stay healthy. The biggest thing with Yoshida is he's never really been healthy for a full season. It's always something, right? It's always something. There's a reason why he couldn't play the outfield. He had injuries, and now as the DH, we're trying to keep him healthy. So can he stay healthy and can he hit? That's it. I mean, if he doesn't hit, then they have Cassis and they have some other people that they could bring in to try to fill that DH role. So he's got to stay healthy and he's got to hit.
I'm not saying that Japan just walked through their pool play, because we saw what happened with US and Italy. They got, anybody can be upset. But to me, Yoshida is doing a really good job against the type of pitching that they're facing. I mean, they faced Korea. They faced Australia. They faced, was Czechia in there too? The Czechs were in there, or at least they were before. Either way, I want to see Yoshida come to this next round. And I want to see him face possibly the Dominicans bullpen where everybody throws 100. I want to see Yoshida face Venezuela's top 3 guys out of the bullpen that are all blowing cheese. That's where, if I'm going to say he's going to take it into the season, I'm going to see that change where he's able to stay on that upper velocity, top of the zone type of thing, that I think if he wants to be the guy to take the next step and get all those DHs for the Red Sox, that's where I would need to see it here at the end of this WBC.
Yeah, the Red Sox have 12 guys in the WBC, at least when the tournament started, representing their respective countries. Some guys having a really good tournament so far. Fastenal, guys, where industry meets innovation. Want to learn more? Check out Fastenal.com. That's FASTENAL.com. We'll be right back after this.
So we're here with Derek Shelton, manager of the Minnesota Twins. He's a little angry, by the way, at our production staff because he didn't make the front end right there, the managers meeting.
What are we doing? New guys? We got new guys in there?
I don't
like
make
returning
the production.
It's just
I love that.
It's unbelievable. I'm going to yell at producer lady for the fact that she didn't put you in.
That's
there.
good.
I mean, at least
that's
for
good
this
smoke.
segment, right? At least for this segment.
When we run it, though, and watch,
yeah,
it'll be changed.
there.
When this goes, when this is, yes. So but do we put you? Do you have a picture of you in full Twins uniform?
I'm sure Dustin can find you a picture.
But we only have pictures of Dustin shirtless, so
100% or really tight shirts.
Yes, or super like Scott Braun. Yes,
super. Oh, does Scotty go super tight?
Oh, like so small.
Really?
It's a contest between him and Dustin. That's why Scott couldn't come.
Because the shirt
because they would be over there having a flex off the whole time.
Shirt in the Fort Myers area.
Yes,
the one medium shirt area.
Yes, exactly. By the way, when we put you in, do we have to put your watch in?
Yeah, 100%. Oris, you got to go. A lot of guys wearing Oris these days.
A lot of managers.
They
love the managers.
Oris, yeah.
Do they? Because I asked Booney about this, and he was the first one I noticed.
Yeah, he's the first one. He's the OG. Booney is the OG. And then I think it went to Alex and I, and now it's kind of spread out.
But do you change your watch? Because he'll change it if they lose. He'll change the band.
I changed it on all. Booney stole the yellow from me because I had the yellow first.
Okay.
So with the Oris, the big one, and then Schneid's wears the big, which is the actual right one. It's the big blue. But yeah, I'm getting ready to place my new order in. But yeah, they're sick. But Booney mixes it up more than I do.
But you got to be careful. Do you have to get that monitored by the league? Because when I was playing for the Brewers, Craig Counsell got in trouble because they sent him a letter and they said he was wearing an Apple Watch, but it was a Mickey Mouse watch that he wore one day. And all the arms on the clock were broken, but Major League Baseball sent him a letter that said it was you can't wear Apple Watches on the, when the Red Sox were doing all their cheating and all that stuff. Like, so do you have to get yours, take a picture of it and get it monitored by Major League Baseball?
We're not getting any data here. We're just looking cool.
You just hope you can read
we're just looking stylish. No, it's just all for show. It's 100% for show. It's for a cool looking band and shiny. So yeah, we're going that way. There's no.
You have red, navy,
red. I'm ordering a navy. I got a sick one that has an altimeter on it. Because you definitely need that on the field.
It's in the dugout.
So that one's for like Colorado.
What step you're on?
Right. Yeah. We got a yellow one for the City Connects because our City Connects are blue. So yeah, I mean you gotta make it look cool.
Okay. Listen, I'm all for it.
Shout out to our guy VJ. VJ's the guy that thinks stuff.
Or
Derek, I love your energy. I love your energy. You seem like you're in a good mood. I never understood the Pirates' decision, but I really understand Minnesota wanting you to be at the helm. There's kind of an emphasis of development versus competitiveness. How do you balance that as a manager? Obviously, you've been around the organization the last couple of years as the bench coach, but how do you balance, the goal moving forward?
I think that's a goal for every manager in markets like this, Alanna, and it's a great question because guys are getting to the big leagues a lot faster than like when AJ and Kratzy were coming up. No, because of the fact that you got a ton of minor league at bats. Don't take it personally. We know the Joe Mauer pictures behind but I think there's so much development that still goes on that we have to balance it. We have to continue to teach. It's a large focus within our camp right now is making sure that we are developing.
Do you know these guys though? How quickly do you learn? Because you are coming from a different organization, and then you say, well, we have to balance developing and then the big league guys. How quickly do you learn an organization?
Well, a lot of conversations in the offseason. You watch video, but still learning. I got asked the question yesterday by our local media, like, have you decided on this? And I'm like, I've seen in person 30 at bats. 40 at bats. We're at this point in spring training. So we have to use the full spring training, or at least up until the last 3 or 4 days, to evaluate. And then you guys know the evaluation of spring training is still hard because the fluctuation of innings, the fluctuation of how much you're playing, you have to rely on the back of the baseball card a little bit because, I mean, you know this, you played for a long time. What you do in a major league game is way more important than what you do in spring training.
Have you seen anybody that your preconceived idea was wrong, or maybe you were able to make a different evaluation of them, somebody that since you've come in camp and seen?
Well, I think with pitchers, you get like seeing Taj Bradley in person. You don't understand. 97 is different for everybody, but you see the ball come out of his hand. You see him attack. I mean, he goes down and pitches against New York the other day. And when you go to New York, you go to Tampa, you're going to get a big boy lineup. You're going to get their good players, and you're able to gauge off that. You watch Luke Keeschel and how he runs the bases and the intensity that he brings. I think there's little things that you're never going to find out from watching players on video or watching them do workouts until you get them in game situations.
Has anything changed? Falvey, Derek Falvey was here, and then all of a sudden he wasn't
Right.
here. Was he the one that brought you here? Was he the main person that was
I don't think
involved in
I think he
you?
was part of it because of the fact that I was here before and Derek and I had a relationship. But the interview process here was intense. When you do interview,
Did you have to meet with all the pole lads?
No, I'm at that
Jeff,
point.
Joe, Carl, Tom, Billy, Bobby.
At that point, I met with Joe, and then I've since then spent a lot of time with Tom. But in terms of coming here and doing the interview process, it's different because when you interview for managerial jobs, it's a situation where they don't know you. So a lot of the first part of the conversations is pleasantries. How is this? With this group, they sat down, they knew me. I was here for 2 years, and it was just right from the jump. So it was probably more intense than any managerial interview I'd been through.
And you won.
Derek, what's something you would have?
I won.
What's something you want to do with the Twins that perhaps you didn't do when you were managing before? Like you always want to do better than the year before, right? What's something in terms of development of your managerial career would you like to take a step forward this season?
I think there's two components to that, and one of it happened in the offseason was just how you build your staff. The first time you build your staff, you really don't understand the complexity of a major league staff and how they interact with your players and how you have to have different skill sets, how they have to complement the manager. So when we built our staff this year was really cognizant of that. The first two hires we made were LaTroy Hawkins, who
Bad hire.
You probably played
Bad hire.
18 years in the big leagues, and then Grady Sizemore, guy that
another bad hire. Jeez.
At one point,
what are you guys doing over here?
Every time AJ put slider down, they hit it. Grady hit it in the seats.
True.
I mean, so we went after major league experience first because I think the one thing that I did learn is how important that is. We have a lot of skill set experts in our game today, but guys that have been around the game that have stood in the box or stood on the mound, I felt it was really important to add to our group. So I think that's the first component. And then with today's players, and honestly, I think it's something I screwed up in Pittsburgh and needed to do a better job of, is you have a conversation with a player and then you interpret how you think they're going to interpret it, and you don't have the follow-up to make sure that what was said is what was heard, and want to make sure that I personally do a better job of that this time around.
Do you feel like you were in a place to be able to make that follow-up, or did you feel like you were a little hamstrung when you were in Pittsburgh? Or is it just something that you're just learning now as, the second time around too?
No, I wasn't hamstrung at all. It was something that you learned. And, when you get 4 months to go home and sit and reflect on it like I did last year and actually do this side of it where you're always right. I mean, shocking.
I was always right before I was on this side, okay?
This is a bad
so just
this is a bad analogy of this using this. So Kratz and Alanna, I'll direct this at you because AJ hasn't been wrong since 2001.
No, since 1976, actually.
76?
Yeah.
Shocking. I bet your wife thinks that too. So I think you get a chance to sit home and reflect on it, and you're like, hey, I should do this differently. And, I got the chance to do that last summer.
That's great. Kratz brought up Pittsburgh. So since you're taking shots at me, it's my turn. Are you mad that they went out and spent money? Because you kind of were in a weird spot, right? Like you went there and you're like, oh man, we got some players,
right.
and they didn't and then here comes Skeens and Jones and Keller and then Bubba Chandler, and you're like, oh, here we go, and they still won't do anything, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey Derek, thanks, but now we're going to go out and get Brandon Lau and all these guys.
Yeah, I'm where my feet are. I'm happy with where I'm at. I love the group here. I'm happy for that group. I'm happy for that fan base. That fan base deserves a winner. I'm happy for Ben that they have the ability to go out and spend some money. And they've done some good things this offseason. And then on top of having Skeens, which is dynamic and the best pitcher in the game, or one of the best with Skubal, and then they have Connor Griffin coming. And, I mean, this kid's going to be special. He's going to be a superstar. So I'm happy for that fan base. I mean, it was my first opportunity to manage in the big leagues. I'm always going to cherish that. But the fact they're going out and doing those things, like, there's no ill will at all.
Somebody else that didn't get brought back with Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen. I don't know if you followed it, but do you feel like that could have been handled differently in the sense that what Kutch means to that city and what that city means to Kutch? Do you feel like they could have handled it differently in the sense that honored him differently, or do you feel like he's still a viable big league piece that adds value to a team?
He is definitely a viable big league piece. ABS is going to be interesting with Kutch because I don't know if there's anybody in the game dominates the strike zone as well as he does. I mean, you play as long as he has. I think he's in his 18th season. And when he comes back and tells you it's a ball or a strike, it's a ball or a strike. I mean, he's that good at it. So there's definitely a fixture. In terms of the first part of that question, Kratzy, I don't know because I didn't follow it close enough. I don't know what the conversations were between Kutch and the Pirates. So it'd be really hard for me to kind of answer that.
All right, let's talk about your team now. Enough of the Pirates. Kratz wants to talk Pirates just because he's still bitter at them for calling him up originally. So let's ignore the Pirates for a little bit. You're in Minnesota now.
Yeah.
And I came up with Minnesota.
Right.
And was here for a while. And I still know a lot of people in Minnesota. Give my friends some hope for the Twins this year in 2026 because I get texts and phone calls that say, "Oh man, Twins, here we go again." Give us some hope.
Yeah, good point. I think starting pitching. Even
this. Without Pablo.
Yeah, even without Pablo, and that is a blow. And if you're going to take that, it happens early in spring training, so at least you can get your other guys work. But everybody likes to talk about, all the trades that happened last year at the deadline here. But when you get a guy like Mick Abel back and you watch him go out and as good as he's been in spring training, and then you have Joe Ryan, who's a top end starter, you have Simeon, you have Zebby, you have Bailey Ober, you have that group, you can win with pitching. And again, we're still trying to figure out our bullpen and adding pieces to it. You have Byron Buxton, you have a young player like Luke Keeschel. There's a lot of good things that can happen. And then honestly, we play in a division where no one has really separated themselves, which I think is a good thing. And it's going to be competitive. And I'm looking forward to that. I think we made a really good move this offseason in adding Josh Bell to our group. Number one, he's a guy that, can hit. But number two, it adds another veteran presence in our clubhouse with Buck.
You were with the Rays before, and you saw how they could develop some pitching. It's different in every organization. Have you seen anything? You mentioned the bullpen. You got to figure out how that's going to work. The Twins have never gone out and bought their bullpens. I mean, I think Glenn Perkins was probably the last guy that they spent any money on, and I don't even think I said it right. It's probably not Glenn Perkins. I'm thinking of a different one. But anyway, have you seen something that they're like, hey, trust us. These are the guys that we call up. This is the things that we look for. Or is it kind of more you're melding and talking to the pitching coach and saying, hey, I want this type of guy out of the bullpen?
Oh, I think it's organizational. And I think we've seen over the past that you can go out and spend money on bullpens and then, bullpens don't function. It's the most volatile place in our game. 1 year it goes back and forth. Guys are good, guys are not good. So we're just looking for that consistency. And I think the Twins, obviously, over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer than that, have done a good job identifying arms and putting them in the right position. So it's as much an organizational blend as it is, my personal opinion or our pitching group's personal opinion on it.
So we had Tito Francona on the other day, and he was like, when he was gone out of the game, he goes, man, that ninth inning, it's like a drug. He's like, I love it. Do you get that feeling when you have a lead and it's time to make the call to the bullpen and you go ahead and do it, or even if it's the eighth or the ninth inning? Do you get that like adrenaline spike that Tito was talking about?
I think you do. And, I think it's more to your point. It's the eighth inning. It's the ninth inning. Sometimes it's the seventh inning, depending on where you're at in the order. But yeah, that's that rush you get. And honestly, it's something, and Tito kind of highlighted, it's something you miss when you're watching a game. When you're not involved in it, you don't get that same rush. And it's nice to be able to be back, to be able to get that rush in the eighth and ninth inning.
Derek, quick question before we let you go. Anthony Banda, Los Angeles, all the ladies in LA were so sad that the Los Angeles Dodgers let Banda go away. So watch out, Minnesota, because here he comes. Two-part question. What do you think he brings to a good bullpen that you had mentioned? He had a lot of electric innings for LA in his time there. But also, is he still setting up as the barber for your club?
He is not set up for the barber yet. And, he's a guy that I actually had history with because I had him in Pittsburgh. Love the guy. I did not know that about the ladies, but that will definitely come up in a conversation probably as soon as this interview is over. So I love that. But what he brings to our bullpen is swing and miss. I mean, he has the ability to get left-handers out. He has the ability to get right-handers out. The slider that he can throw back foot to right-handers. And when you have a left-hander that is kind of neutral, like Anthony is, it's a definite separator, especially with the three-batter rule. But did not know the ladies component of this in LA, but that will be used against him very quickly. But he was a guy that when he came available, I was really excited to add to our bullpen.
Yeah, it's the tat. The tats. Just watch.
It's the tat.
Oh, wow.
Okay, all right. Wow. There we go.
Are you the type of manager that has to have your own thing, or do you allow ex-players and managers to come back to Twins camp?
No, we have got. Are you asking for a specific reason? Like,
yes, I am. I want to just hear your answer.
Is this a direct? Yeah, we have a bunch of people. Morney was here before he was at the WBC with Canada. Tony Oliva just left. I mean, Molitor's coming in today. So yeah, we have guys around.
Oh, because I was wondering, does TK come in? Do you bring like TK and Gardenhire?
No, I don't know when this is being aired, but Gardy will be making an appearance very quickly.
What about Tom Kelly?
TK has not, but TK is around Target Field. And the great thing about TK, did you play for TK?
Yes.
You're that old?
Yes, I am. I'm not that great like you, though, but I'm not that.
Hey, manage for a few years, and let's see how that goes. No, but TK, I think the great thing about TK, and you would love this actually because of the fact that you were here, is at my opening press conference, TK pulled me aside and had a conversation with me about some things that he thought about should be the Twins' way. And it was really
please tell me, because I want to know.
Okay, so
yelling at young guys, treating them like crud, like what else?
Like the PFP and the attention to detail.
Don't even get
and how it started. And TK pulled me aside and talked to me about it. And we have implemented some of the things that he felt were important because, he's the ultimate Twins manager.
We used to go out to the little field out there and stand out there.
It's called the TK field.
Oh, I know, and the Stelly field too.
Right, the Stelly's out there now too.
Yes, and we used to sit out there for hours and I would stand there.
We're not out there for hours, and we have not had anybody get screamed at first base-wise. But Morty did tell me something that was really impactful during camp. He's like, TK used to tell me, if I can stand out here and get on you on this field in March, and you can handle it, and you can handle it, how are you going to handle it at the Metrodome in October? And it reigns true.
True.
The game.
Did Morneau also tell you the story about when Tom Kelly told him, hey, we need to go work on fielding? And Morneau looks at him and goes, I got this bat. He was in the cage. He goes, as long as I got this, I don't need to go out.
He left that out, and that actually happened. I would like to know what the backside of that conversation from.
He was out there on the field. Let's just say the next time
he was not with Joe Vavra in the cage. He was
yes. And also, next time you see TK, ask him about David Ortiz, who's in the Hall of Fame. He almost killed him one day down there. We used to call it Iwo Jima, the ninth field out there.
Yeah.
And we were doing pop-up drills. And Tom Kelly would always go to the far field. He was a manager.
Right.
He would go to the far field. David was playing first. I was catching. I was young. So he didn't talk to me. Hits a pop-up, and it falls. And he was so mad. He took his fungo, and he threw it. And David had to jump over it.
That would not be good.
No.
That would not be good.
It would have not been good if he hit him. Yeah. But unfortunately, he didn't hit anybody. But no.
I was able to get some knowledge. And
no, TK, listen, I look back on TK when I was young. We all did not like him. But now I look back on him, he had a lot of really good ideas. Just maybe the execution wasn't the best.
Well, I think the thing that we found out about TK is his ideas stand the test of time.
100%.
And I think with good teachers and good leaders, those messages, stand the length of time. And I really appreciate. I told someone, they asked me, they said, well, what was your conversation like with TK at your press conference? I said, it was not a conversation. It was a monologue. It was one way directed. But I appreciate the time that he took the time, and he cares that much about it.
No, 100%. No, he was great. I look back. So Shelton, thank you. And by the way, Molitor's coming.
Molly's
he might
coming
be looking for your job. He tried this once.
I know. I was sat next to him for a while.
Well, Shelty, thank you, man. I really wish you nothing but the best. And people know this about me. One thing that I will say, people know me as a White Sox, but I still consider myself, there's a small sliver of me that's a Twin.
I love that. Till you get on the south side.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Shelty, though, wait, before we go, he almost didn't shake your hand. He almost didn't shake your hand right there.
I couldn't get in the video. I couldn't get a handshake.
He's a White Sox. You're an AL Central opponent now, so that's why he didn't do it. It was a little Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena.
Ooh, wow. I'm Cal, though. You're Randy.
That's
I
fair.
hit 60. You hit
none.
30. I'm advancing. You're not. Thanks, Italy.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Shelty.
All right.
Gotta go.
See ya.
It's awesome. Derek is such a good interview, good baseball man. I love the fact that the Minnesota Twins hired him to be their manager. Time now for our BetMGM segment. Wednesday's locks, guys. Italy versus Mexico. Scott Braun not on the show today. Did not hit. He was at minus 105 there. But AJ and Erik did hit Canada versus Cuba. James Paxton, good outing by him, of course. Canada had enough offense. And the DR versus Venezuela. AJ winning as well. Money bags up 93, and that's okay. Even Erik is better than down, I guess. You and AJ sitting at even money.
Even is definitely a positive.
Yes. It's really not. It's just even. It's not a positive or a negative. It's just even.
Just means I'm not losing. Right? So
okay.
It's a positive. It's like if you go to the casino, right? And you're playing blackjack and you push, you don't lose your money, but you don't win your money, so you live to fight another day.
Okay,
so
fair
it's
enough.
A good thing.
You live to fight another day. What movie is that from right now? But you live to fight another day.
Bad Boys.
Nope.
Damn it.
Was it a black and white film, or was it?
It was not a black and white film. No, it was in color. It was in color.
Creed.
Nope. Friday.
I've
seen that movie.
Ice Cube's dad in the movie was talking about not using a gun. You got to use your fists. You lived. You win some, you lose some. Anyway, moving on. Okay.
That's Janet Jackson.
They should got that car looking more like Freddie Jackson. Anyway, BetMGM World Baseball Classic, the updated outright winner odds, guys. Who are you taking? If you look at the outright winner, some of us are not betting people, but one of our producers and today our director, our producer as well, Japan at plus 450. Jeremy Meyer was saying that maybe that's a good bet. Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's value.
Yeah.
I think the value was before the tournament when I took the Dominican. So I'm going to keep riding that train. Now the numbers moving in the direction that they could be. Before the U.S. got in, they were the favorite, and then U.S. got in, and now the U.S. is favored again. But I think plus 450 for Japan, the team that's learned how to win this tournament 3 different times. Yeah, that's major value right there.
Erik, did you put a bet on the Dominican prior to the tournament starting? What were the odds at that point?
I got it at plus 450 when I bought it. So
okay.
So Dominicans moved, the lines moved. What was that? Plus 230, I think.
230, yes, plus 230.
Yeah, so it's moving. You see where that's moving at. I mean, after you get past there, can Venezuela do it? They could do it. But I think like Venezuela, Puerto Rico, they're just too short. Their bullpen's too short. Their lineup is a little too short. But that's the beauty of this. You just have to win 3 games to win the whole thing. You don't have to win a series. You have to win 3 games. Could Italy do it? I mean, Italy is clearly the darling of this whole thing. Could they do it?
AJ, is Italy plus 2,000? I mean, that seems pretty high for them. I think I would think that they'd have, better odds in terms of them being the spoiler winning this thing.
Yeah, I mean, they just won the pool, right? They just beat the U.S., so that's one thing they have. But I don't know if they have enough to win the whole tournament. I agree with these odds, but I do agree that Japan is the value in this pick. Dominican is a nice value too. But yeah, to me, if plus 450, a team that's won this thing 3 times, I mean, I can't go Italy plus 2,000. As much as I love Vinny P and his whole, the whole thing with the Italians and the espresso machine and everything they got going, I just think the U.S. is the better team overall, and I think Japan is the value in the BetMGM odds.
All right, we'll see how this shakes out. USA, Dominican Republic, Japan, Venezuela, the top 4 in terms of the outright winner, according to BetMGM. And guys, BetMGM players will receive an Any Sport Odds Boost token. To use the token, add a wager made up of bets from any sport to your bet slip and activate the token. If you win your wager that was made with the token, you will receive extra winnings and unrestricted bonus dollars.
Here with Ryan Jeffers, Twins catcher, who's now like the eldest statesman in the Twins locker room at this point. Are you Buck's not here?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, after the trade deadline last year, we were getting rid of guys left and right, and it was Pablo, Vasky, Buck, and me.
And then this year, well, Vasky's
then they're gone, and then it's me and Buck. Yeah, it's wild.
So that means you have to buy everyone dinner every night, right?
The team dinners will be on me. So Buck gets back. So Buck gets back.
Did you see his face? He's like,
yeah. Maybe just breakfast.
I haven't been part of those yet. I mean, the catcher's dinners, me and Vic, we did something cool there. But, the team dinners always, when Carlos is around, he usually picks those up.
Okay, well, when you said you and Vic did something cool for the catchers, I mean, you have catchers on here, so tell us. What'd you do?
Yeah, no, we went out to I went online, found a nice Korean barbecue spot, and then we rolled up, and it was in a strip mall next to a Office Depot. I was really worried about I was really worried of where we were going into. Ended up being a really good dinner. It was great.
When you go to the Korean barbecue, for people that don't know, you have to cook your own food.
Yeah.
So do you make the rookies cook your food on the thing?
We were fully planning on it. They ended up, the server or whatever, the waitress ended up cooking all of it for us.
So you tipped her extra, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Brian, good to be with you. Alanna Rizzo here. Wanted to ask you, the last 3 seasons, you guys have kind of been sharing the load behind the plate. This year, Derek Shelton said you're C1. How do you go into the season with that mindset, knowing you're getting the bulk of the time behind the dish?
Yeah, it's something I've always wanted. I've felt like at times I've worked myself and deserved the right to catch more. I'm excited to finally get that opportunity. Every offseason I prepare myself to catch 120, 100, whatever my name is called. But at the same time, I'm not in control of the lineup. So the last couple of years I was sharing the load and playing every other day. But I'm excited to take that opportunity and, help the pitching staff on a daily basis and try and help us win some games.
When you say help the pitching staff, with Pablo going down, obviously, for the year, which sucks.
Yeah.
Forget pitching-wise. He's just a good dude to be around and have around. And then you see Joe with his back, and he has to miss some starts. He doesn't get to go to the Team USA like you plan. How do you get to know most of the young guys? Because after those two, if you look at the names in your rotation and even in your bullpen, you're like, whoa, wait a second here. These aren't standard names for most people outside of this clubhouse.
Yeah, as you know, it's like our job number one is to build the relationships with the pitchers as quickly as we can and as deep as you can. You try and get to know them off the field. You try and get to know them as people, know their families. So that way, when you have conversations and, the trust level is there. I think that's what it comes down to is them trusting me that I have their best interests in mind. And we've got some really talented arms behind the names, the Pablo, the Joe, the Bailey. We have some really talented arms and Mick and Taj and guys that can have really exciting futures. And I think we're really excited to see what they'll do for us.
What do the pitching coaches tell you that you have to do for those guys? Is there something individually, like not the stars, not the best pitchers, but the guys that are really trying to get their feet under them, or even like a guy like Taj, who's like, wow, what an amazing potential, but we just haven't quite tapped it on the reg?
Yeah, for the young guys, I think it's how quickly can I make them comfortable? How quickly can I get them acclimated, not only to the big league life, but our clubhouse, how we talk pitching, how we talk scouting reports, and get them to go out there and focus on executing their pitch. I'll take the brunt of the game plan. I'll take the brunt of the calling the game. I'll take as much off of their shoulders as I can. But they have to go out there and execute, and there's only so much I can do to help them there. The Taj, you pump that guy up every day because he is one of the best, just pure stuff guys in the game. And he's gone out there and, I think he punched 6 or 7 yesterday in 5 innings and just touching 99, just unbelievable stuff. And he can be one of the best pitchers in baseball. No doubt in my mind, and I feel like he's on a good track to putting it all together this year.
So Ryan, what is that? Sorry, Alanna, I wanted to follow with that because when AJ was that guy, he's said tons of stories where you handle rookies and you're like, dude, just listen to what I have to say. Has that changed? Because you're now what we just talked about, the veteran, and if you have younger, less experienced, not necessarily rookies, but less experienced guys, Are you that jerk catcher that's like, bro, just don't shake me off? If you give up a hit, that's on you. Or is it more like kid gloves now?
Yeah, no, I would say it's more of the latter. Not necessarily because you have to treat them differently. It's just because when you have to rely on them to make a start every 5 days, you want to bring the best out of them as you can. So if some guys
screw that, just don't you call. Forget that. Come on.
So well, I think it comes into like, hey, if I'm getting shaken off a lot, or we're getting pitches in situations that I don't want to have those thrown, that's conversations that we have in the dugout after the inning. Something goes south, like, hey, this is what I was thinking. This is where I think your thought process was flawed. In the hopes that those young guys will learn. And then the more the trust that I can build, like I keep going back to trust, the more that they can trust me that I am there for them, the more hopefully they will just turn over the reins to me and let me do my thing behind the plate.
Ryan, when you walked into the clubhouse last trade season, the trade deadline, you kind of walk around, you're like, where the heck is everybody? But thankfully, Joe Ryan is still there with you guys. I know he had been in so many different trade talks. I mean, how key is it for you guys to have success with that guy kind of leading the charge?
Yeah, he's been a staple in this organization since I think 21 when we traded him, traded for him. He commands a different presence on the mound. He's such a unique individual. He's, they coined the Joe Ryan experience, and that's a real thing. He's a spectacle when he's on the mound, not just what he's doing with the baseball, but everything he does, from his swimmer stuff to the emotions he communicates with the umpires in a different way. I think he's starting to, kind of like me, step into a bigger role of leadership, and some of the young guys are looking at him for how he works, how he talks pitching, how he communicates. And we're going to need him to step up a little bit more this year with Pablo being out.
He was great Stranger Things, though.
Yeah,
he didn't give his life away.
They did one of those like celebrity lookalike things one day, and it was him and Billy. Billy, is that his name? Billy.
I think his name was Billy. Went to the mall when he gives his life up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was special.
Oh yeah.
For Max, it was really special. We had Adley on yesterday, Adley Rushing, and we were joking about the pitch comp.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you hit the wrong button? Because he said he hits the wrong button 2 to 3 times a game. Never?
Pretty rare. Yeah, I've got mine now. I do say I think mine is very simple, very easy to use. Vic brought one in that I guess he's used in the past that is just as confusing to me as it gets. So I don't know. Maybe mine's a little more simple than others.
Adley said like sometimes he'll throw over and there's no one on base, or like back pick.
Sometimes you have to. Some guys there's different ways you can organize it. Sometimes you have to press like 2 buttons every time you press a button, like to call something. Mine is just like simple, like one presses. I can do more. I can hold.
Secrets here. Be careful, because people are going to be watching your.
They don't know how it's organized down there on my knee.
Watching like which vein flexes in your forearm.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's some camera on our pitch comm at some time.
Yeah.
But no, there's always little mess ups, but there's always a cancel button on there, or there's just an old. Wait. I know. Well, usually it's not the wrong pitch. It's usually what Adley says. It's like you're searching for a slide step or something, and you end up pressing a back pick button or something. And
do you like that. Does he have like no, I'm stupid. Don't do that.
That's the old wave your hands. No, wait, and press the other one about 6 times, trying to no, this one. Yeah, this one.
How about the new rule? Well, not it's a new rule, but they said they're going to enforce the fact that third and first base coaches have to stay in their box during at bats. Does that alleviate some looking around for you, making sure they're not moving as you call a pitch?
I'm almost torn and leaning the other way of like when they would leave their box, they're almost always looking at the pitcher. Maybe now they're not able to do that as much, and they're focusing on me a little bit more. Whether that's trying to pick my setups versus picking the pitcher's grips or whatnot. So I'm not sure how it's going to affect them yet. I'm not sure how tightly it's really going to enforce. I mean, 2 years ago, they said they were going to enforce the obstruction rule like crazy, and then no one ever calls it. So who knows?
Ryan, how do you feel about the ABS system being implemented this year? Have you had to do much of that in spring, and kind of what's your take on automated balls and strikes?
Yeah, I like it a lot. So far, I've been a big fan of it. I've been pretty good at it. There's a pretty good. They've got some stats, and I've been pretty solid at challenging the right calls. I think there's a lot that it takes away a framing stat from us catchers, but it also, I think, it can add in a value that we're not really sure of. That the challenging the right pitches, the right times, winning those challenges with whether it's runners on base, that can add run value to what I do behind the plate just as much as framing some pitches can. So I'm excited for it. I think it'll eliminate the big misses from the umpires, and we'll see how it goes.
Till you run out of challenges, and then they just start calling everything.
So the hitters just use all the challenges, and then I don't have any left. Yeah.
Then they just can call anything, so it's fine.
Yeah. I think that's something that we're like talked about. Hey, we're gonna follow. Like, hey, how do umpires react once teams are out of challenges? Do they strength the zone? Like, are they gonna change it all? I think in the minors they didn't see a lot of that, but you never know with the big league umpires.
Especially the old guys.
Yeah, some of the old guys do they revert back to where they were the years past? I don't know.
Last question before we let you go. LaTroy Hawkins is on your coaching staff. Does he do anything? Because I can't believe that he does anything.
I think it's a really good voice for us to have.
Back when
I don't talk to the bullpen coach that much.
The best thing you've ever said. Don't talk to him all year. Tell him that I said you don't talk to him all year.
We'll probably have a lot more conversations in season than we do right now. I know from talking to the bullpen guys, they're really excited about having him down there. It's not often you can have a 20-plus year vet in your bullpen talking to those guys. It's not the scouting reports. It's not it's just how do you handle yourself? How do you approach the game in general? It's the big picture stuff that he brings that you just can't get from anywhere else, really.
Well, Ryan, thank you for joining us from one Florida State League All-Star here in Fort Myers to another. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, guys, let's give SeatGeek a shout out. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app, and one player, Erik, that you're not going to see if you buy tickets to the World Baseball quarterfinals is Clay Holmes. This just coming out from Anthony DiComo that Clay Holmes is actually going back to pitch for the Mets in a Grapefruit League game tomorrow. The Mets wanted him back apparently because Team USA could not guarantee him the workload he needs to build up for the season. What say you about that?
I'm saying that the Mets are saying we're taking our ball and we're going home. Mm-hmm. It's smart. Like, if they can't guarantee that he's going to get in, we thought maybe he should have gotten in instead of Ryan Yarbrough. I don't know what that discussion is like. Would he have been a better matchup? Are we saying that because of the fact that Yarbs gave up some runs against Italy? I don't know. But to me, if he can't get his innings in, you can't just stay there and throw bullpens. I don't care who you're with. It's not like, it's totally different. So I'm totally good with it. The Mets want to win a World Series.
Well, This was the plan all along, though, Alanna. This was the plan all along. Mark DeRosa has talked about this, that they're going to bring in some bullpen guys, and I think they brought in Tim Hill and Will Vest, and I forget who the third one is, but there was like 3 bullpen arms they brought in because I think Matthew Boyd left. I think Clay Holmes left, and I'm not sure who the third one is. Maybe they're counting Skubal as that third guy. I don't know. But this was the plan all along because now the starters, Logan Webb, I bet you they're counting on 4 to 5 innings at least maybe from Logan Webb, and then use the bullpen arms, and then there's all the restrictions on the bullpen arms. So this was kind of the plan all along. So this doesn't surprise me. They're making this out like, oh, Clay Holmes chose to leave and the Mets ordered him back. No, this is not what happened at all. It's just he was going back because the Mets want to stretch him out, much like the Skubal thing, which I can't believe is a thing. The fact that, Tarik Skubal pitched 1 game and everyone's like, oh, he gave up. Would you have been happier if he just said, no, I'm not pitching, and because I'm a free agent and I don't want to pitch at all for Team USA because of that? Then people would be like, well, you're the best pitcher. Why don't you want to pitch, right? So I give Tarik Skubal credit for the fact that he actually pitched that 1 game, and then everyone else saying, oh, well, he should pitch again. Well, listen, he did more than – we talked to Freddie Peralta. We love Freddie Peralta. He said no because he was going to be a free agent at the end of the year and on a new team. So, listen, this was the plan all along. I think they're also probably – we're at Twins camp. I think they're going to add Joe Ryan at some point. If they keep going, I think they can add someone else maybe in the finals. So this was always the plan. This shouldn't be a surprise. People shouldn't be mad about this. Starting pitchers, they're running out of need for the starting pitchers.
What about the other school of thought, guys, that says if you commit to being on the team, you should be there from start to finish, kind of finish what you start? The whole thing, obviously, with Tarek Skubal, and I know that you just covered it, AJ. But is there some validity to that argument, Erik?
I mean, I guess there's some validity, yeah, but I don't think that's – when you're talking about guys needing to get ready for their season, pitchers – now, position players, you can't have position players bailing. Like, oh, we had this guy playing shortstop, and then he's like, you know what? I want to go get some meaningless at bats and spring training with my team. Like that can't happen. But pitchers, it's very fluid. There's no need to keep Matthew Boyd on the team because of the fact he was used. He was used correctly, and then they rebuild their bullpen. All the teams are doing it. They rebuild the bullpen to be a little bit different for the next round. So, no, I don't think so. As much as I tell kids, hey, you commit to playing for a team, you're on that team till the end of the season, even if you want to quit during the year. That's not at all what's happening here.
AJ,
But I don't love that analogy because this is the plan. This was the plan. Like, they didn't quit. Like, nobody quit on their team. Like, nobody quit. Nobody said, I don't want to be here. Tarek Skubal was like, I still want to be there. I want to come back if they make it to the finals to watch the game in the dugout. Like, nobody's quitting. This isn't a quitting thing at all. This is I got to get ready for my season, which is where I make my living with my team. So if you are at a job, Alanna and Erik, if you worked at a job and this place said, hey, we have an opportunity for you to do some really fun for your country. Let's say you work at Fastenal, okay? And Fastenal says you're making, this is where you make your money. You're making, I'm throwing the random numbers. You make $100,000 at Fastenal, okay? And then the USA for some reason has an equipment metal screwing competition on, and you're like, hey, you can come here and make $10,000 for this week, but there's a chance you can get hurt. But we're okay with you doing it for a limited time. But the plan is if you make it to the third round, we're going to bring in the other guy. Okay. They didn't quit. They just did what they're supposed to do because they're going back to their team where they make their living and try to do the thing, which is win the World Series. So I don't like the whole, let's not say the quitting because nobody quit. Okay. Nobody quit on their team. This was the plan.
I don't think any of us were saying that anybody was quitting. Let me ask you this, though, AJ. Who has the final say? Because if you look at the Mets situation with Clay Holmes, which to your point was the intended plan all the way, he's going back to pitch in a Grapefruit League game. But Sandy Alcantara, who is a member and an employee of the Miami Marlins, said that he is going to pitch no matter what, as a reliever, as a starter. He is going to be there for the long haul. What if the Marlins say, the hell you are, and ask him to come back? Who has the say in that?
The team. The team ultimately has the say, I believe, because I've been denied playing in the original one. So from the team, and teams can say no, the insurance can say no. Now, the teams don't use that a lot because this thing has gotten bigger and bigger, and they know how important it is to the players. But like people are saying, oh, why didn't they bring in Clay Holmes against Italy instead of Ryan Yarbrough? Well, he wasn't eligible to pitch, and the Mets wouldn't like that because he's going to be a starting pitcher, and they need him on his 5-day routine to get ready to start for the New York Mets, not pitch on Saturday against Great Britain and then come back and pitch on Tuesday. That's not his routine. Sandy's a little bit different. Sandy has a long-term contract. Sandy might have a little more power than other players just because of his name and his recognition, and he's won some awards in the past. I don't know, but I'm sure the Marlins aren't super happy that Sandy Alcantara went to him and said, I'm pitching in relief for this, because they're going to want him to start on opening day, and they're going to need him stretched out and ready to go, because we were at Marlins camp, they're talking about being competitive this year, and their pitching is what they're counting on. So I'm sure they're not super excited about, but it's kind of what we keep going back to, though. The American team deals, I feel like, and this probably people say it's not true, the rules are the rules, but I feel like the American team has to answer more rules and more limitations than some of the other teams.
Well, they also want Sandy Alcantara to be healthy. The Marlins do. So they have some value with him when they try to trade him at the deadline. That's just my editorializing. And of course, you guys, I have a code for all of you. You can use code Territory10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code Territory10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it. Time for a little season preview as we discuss the Minnesota Twins. Of course, AJ has been all over the place as the spring training tour brought to you by Fastenal continues live at Twins camp. We've already heard from Derek Shelton. We've heard from Ryan Jeffers. We've heard from Royce Lewis. Hopefully we'll get Anthony Banda coming up soon. Let's keep talking a little bit about this in terms of the guys going back to their respective teams. When you say, AJ, that you think Team USA perhaps has a little bit more restrictions on them, why do you think that is? Is it the contracts given to these players? Although, other guys with Venezuela, Dominican, they have massive deals as well. But why do you think that is? Is just the governing body for Team USA baseball stricter?
I just think that they listen a little bit more. I don't say it's stricter, but I also heard a rumor that other countries have called the teams back and been like, I'm using your guy wherever I want. They're on my team, and I'm using them if I want to use them as a reliever, as a starter, 2 innings back-to-back, whatever it is. So, and also a lot of the other teams don't have now Dominican, Venezuela, and I'll use even Japan. They do have some guys, i.e. Clayton Kershaw, that are not under club control, and they can do whatever they want. So if you're not a big leaguer on a 40-man roster that's going to be in the big leagues, you have different restrictions than other teams do. Now, most of these guys that are left are obviously under big league team control. So it's just, I don't know. I feel like we just hear about it more with the U.S., and I feel like they use that more of I don't want to say as a crutch, but more of a thing than what you hear from some of the other teams when they talk about it. I don't know if that's true or not. It just seems like they're under a little bit more tighter grasp than the other teams.
Do we know if Clay Holmes was available to pitch for Team USA to kind of get some of that work in? I know Mark DeRosa was warming up Clayton Kershaw. Was Clay Holmes not available because of usage prior or for a reason?
No, because Mark DeRosa is basically given who he can pitch every night, who he can pitch and who he cannot pitch, right? He is given, here's the guys who are available for this game tonight. You can pitch these guys. You can't use certain guys back-to-back. You can't use certain guys need 2 days of rest instead of 1 day of rest if they want to pitch. The starters have to pitch every 5th day. And what were they doing in the pool play? They were piggybacking starters. Look at Logan Webb, and it was Logan Webb, and then they brought in I forget who. Anyways, but the second Great Britain was Skubal, Clay Holmes, right? Then it was Skeens, Matthew Boyd, right? And then it was McLean, Yarborough. So they were piggybacking starters. That's how they got through the pool play. Now they're a little bit more stretched out. They can go a few more innings. And now what they do, they brought in bullpen help so he can cover innings with his bullpen. And
those directives are coming directly from the team. Like, you can't 100%. Pitch my guy on back-to-back day. You can't stretch him out, 100%. More than 35 pitches in a certain outing or whatever.
And have more than 25 pitches in an inning, Alanna. Right. There's another thing that they're
and that's the WBC rule, right? 25 pitches per inning.
No, that's the MLB teams telling Mark DeRosa that he can't pitch guys, relievers, more than if they get to 25 pitches, they have to come out. Well, then he's like, well, I don't have anybody who can start clean innings or dirty innings. Everyone's supposed to start a clean inning.
That's the other part,
like,
too.
oh, man. There's a lot. Listen, there's a lot.
Yeah. No, so, Erik, is that a reason why Clayton Kershaw and James Paxton, those types of guys, are so valuable perhaps to some of these WBC teams because they're not beholden to a major league team anymore because they've retired or whatever their situation may be? But, Mark DeRosa joked, or Clayton joked, that he was going to, kind of a break the glass in emergency type of situation. But there's a role for that too, is there not?
There is. And when you're not circumventing the rules, but you're circumventing the rules that the teams are putting out there. Because WBC says you can only throw 65 pitches if you're a starter. That's across all WBC. It doesn't matter what team. But then when teams say we can't go over 25 pitches, that's normal. That's normal in spring training. Like, you always get this one from the dugout when a guy gets to 20 pitches in a spring training outing. Why? Because they got to go get number 98, who is the JIC, the just-in-case guy, out of the bullpen, ready to go. They're able to control it more. And so if those teams give you those stipulations, D-Row, Aaron Judge, Skeens, the guys that recruited these pitchers, they know that this is the rules. And so they have to recruit guys that, one, can throw strikes and can get out of the inning before 25 pitches, which is usually the team's limits. And two, you need a guy like Clayton Kershaw to be on the team because there will be those blips in the radar. There will be the long at bats. And so it's tough. It's not just here, go out and play. It can be, there's so many stipulations and regulations set by different teams.
A lot of different rules and restrictions, as you guys have mentioned. Certainly a flawed system, but a tournament we enjoy nonetheless. Much more to come on Foul Territory as we are live from Twins camp right after this.
We love HelloFresh. Shout out to them, and over 100 recipes to choose from each week to provide variety. They're the spice of life. They don't make it boring for you when you're preparing food. Also, there's 3 times the seafood for no upcharge. AJ, they wanted you to know that you can impress your guests or your family with new grass-fed steak ribeyes. And you can make meals with seasonal produce like pears, apples, and asparagus.
Well, listen, Scott, I'm trying to stay in my playing/fighting shape, so I need the seafood, I need the protein, and I need the veggies. And plus, I want to look cool when people come over and say, wow, you made all this stuff? And I'll be like, easy peasy.
A new slogan, HelloFresh, making AJ look good. So go to HelloFresh.com/FT10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife, a $144.99 value on your 3rd box. Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box, new subscribers only, varies by plan. Because when dinner tastes this good, nothing hits like home cooking.
Here we are. We know Alanna's happy, and ex-Dodger is on here with us, Anthony Banda. She's so happy right now. Did you know Alanna has a crush on you also?
No. Wait.
No. I believe we met and we had a great conversation.
Thank you, Anthony.
Oh, sorry. Isn't that what you said earlier, Alanna?
I will tell him what I said earlier. I said the ladies of Los Angeles are super bummed that Anthony Banda is no longer in LA. He was a fan favorite. I said they love the tats. He's a good looking guy. I could be his mother, so I don't have a crush on him. I think he's a good player. And I think that the Minnesota Twins just got a hell of an arm. That was my point, AJ. Thank you as I take the bus tracks off of me for this interview. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, how are you?
You like that. You made him smile. You made him blush a little bit, Alanna. You should be proud of that.
He's a good guy. And Minnesota just got better. Their bullpen just got a lot better.
All right, let's jump in here. You were with the Dodgers last year, back-to-back World Series. Then you get the call you're traded. What was that phone call?
Ooh, yeah, that one, don't get me wrong, I love that organization, everybody involved in it. They've done right by me, loved me, everything about it was great. When I got the phone call, it was more of like shock, one, and it's just like I couldn't get any words out. I was so shocked. I wasn't shocked in the sense of maybe a potential trade at some point. I'm not oblivious. There's a lot of lefties and they're really talented and stuff. And just the whole DFA process was like a shocker to me. But that just comes with the roster flexibility and stuff like that, as guys know. But you could tell, I could tell that Gomes was not happy in the sense of wanting to be on that end of the phone call. But yeah, we, he just kind of, let me know, and then that was kind of it. And he told me he'll reach back in a couple of days and kind of go from there. But yeah, there wasn't very much exchange. It was just more of a utterly shocked, and that was it.
As a business.
Yeah, business, and the thing is
you've been on a lot of teams, so this isn't the first time you switched teams.
Yeah, and I just think where it's you can't take that very personally, right? Because at the end of the day, those are great people over there. They're amazing. They take care of families. They care. So you can't take the business aspect of them making moves or doing it the way they want to run the ship, because they were doing it well before I even got there. So the way I look at it is I was just extremely grateful that they, one, giving me the opportunity to have those special moments that we had, and two, it was, you're not owed anything in this game. So it's hey, take what you can get and keep moving forward.
So fans know you were DFA'd. That's what you were talking about. You were DFA'd and then traded. during that time of
Yeah.
being designated for assignment, taken off the roster, that's the part that you were like really surprised about. Did they talk to you at all? Because the different times that I was DFA'd, they called me and they were like, hey, there's a chance of 2 teams that possibly would like to claim you, but we have an opportunity to pull you back and trade you. Do you have an option between those teams? And did they give that to you?
That was something more along the lines of the conversations that between them and the agent, and you know, it wasn't more. They didn't give me any type of information. You know, it was just more of like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we're going with, and you know, we'll touch base in a couple of days. I think the feel was like, hey, you're probably going to get traded at some point. You know, and then kind of gotten that notice through the agency saying like, hey, there's a lot of potential with trades and different teams and whatnot. So it was kind of a weird process in the sense of just sitting around kind of waiting to see where I was going to end up at. But like I said, like, been through it before, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like I know what to expect as far as the waiting time period and whatnot. But you know, just glad to have another uniform and get another opportunity.
All right, I got one more Dodgers question. I'm sure Alanna has like 100, but
oh my goodness,
how many times were you crushed asking Shohei questions, or how many people were like, hey, think you get me Shohei's autograph? Or was there somebody else on the team that you got crushed about, like, hey, what kind of shoes does Mookie wear?
It was more about like, hey, how do they run things? How are the guys? And most like that's kind of what I got a lot. And you know, as everybody knows that's been in that locker room or gone through that locker room, they're a bunch of great guys. The culture there is unbelievable in the sense of like they have each other's backs, they respect each other's work, they care for each other. So there's a lot of great things that they're doing over there. The culture that they built there, you know, I was just fortunate enough to be a part of it and kind of learn from them. But yeah, I've gotten some Shohei requests for autographs and some stuff as far as asking like, how is he? What is he like off the field? And I just like, look, he works really hard. You hardly see him because he's always in the cage or, you know, doing something. He's very particular about his work. And I mean, that speaks volumes of why he's so great. But also it's like, you know, watching him like through the travels and stuff like that, you know, just noticing that he loves reading, you know, comics or, you know, books on his iPad. You know, just to, you know, keep his mind away from, you know, baseball. And so I think that was really cool to kind of get a little insight of that. So, but he's actually a really funny guy too. He's got.
You got a selfie though? I got a selfie with him. Did you get one of those?
I
can sell that thing on eBay for
yeah,
like
you probably
a couple bucks probably. I'd bring down the value though.
No, Kershaw actually signed some cleats for me. So
nice. Huh.
I was like, heck yeah, that was cool.
But he's still playing. He's retired, but he's still playing.
Yeah, but I think the value goes up when Hall of Fame hits, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
better not.
No,
Did he write to Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay, so
he said to.
Were you like?
Yeah.
Did you like get a towel real quick? Hey, he's not looking. Right? Scratch that off.
No. He no, they're enclosed in a case at my house, sitting between the trophy and the masks and all that other good stuff that I got there. So. Yeah, it was cool of him to do that. I was really, really shocked, but then also like really excited. The inner child was like, "Oh my god, yeah!" So it was cool.
All right, let's turn the page though. You are entering a new season with a new club, and I talked to Derek Shelton about you specifically, and he says he loves your swing and miss. What are you most excited about with this new team and this group of guys in the bullpen for the Twins?
Well, it's just the opportunity to, one, get to know the guys, get to learn them, but then also, like, you know, understanding, like, hey, like, you know, what I learned from the Dodgers, the blueprint that they've given me, and just applying it, you know, not really changing too much, you know, having each other's backs, trying to establish what I've learned from LA to here, you know, and it's not like a copy and paste type of thing, right? You got different personalities, you got guys that do different things certain ways, and it's just like, you know, just understanding like, hey, like, I'm always open to a conversation because, you know, the ups and downs of baseball, right? You get those, right? But then you also have the ideology of like having each other's backs. And how do you do that? Well, yeah, of course you do it on the field, but then also in the locker room, off the field type things, you know, getting guys to, you know, break that ice, get them comfortable. And you know, at least that's like worked for me, you know, from my experience and stuff like that. So it's more of like those like just showing to be a good teammate, but then also like just taking care of work, right? And then like looking at the big pictures, like what are we wanting to accomplish this season? What are the goals for guys? And just kind of staying on that path and get away from riding that, what they call the roller coaster, the ups and downs of the season. So it's like, you know, if we can try and stay there, I think we're going to be pretty good.
Are you like the veteran guy in this bullpen?
No.
No?
God, no.
Do they come to you? Do your when you're sitting down in the bullpen, do guys come up to you and say, "Man, you won a World Series? What was that like pitching in the playoffs?"
Yeah.
Do they ask questions like that? Because this is a relatively youngish team for the Twins, right? So you're kind of, I mean, you are an older state, even though you're kind of giving me you're crazy.
No.
You've just
correct.
been through a lot compared to a lot of these other guys that are here.
Yeah. And, you know, I just try to relate through my experiences, right? And that's the best way I could potentially do that. But yeah, I get a lot of questions, you know, how was it? What was the atmosphere like? You know, and, you know, so forth. Like, you know, all the generic questions that come with it. And
what's the worst question? It's the worst question I could ask you.
I don't know.
Or maybe the question you like the least.
I mean, I invite all questions, really.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really, yeah. I try to be very understanding. You know? People are different, you know, they got their own cues and stuff, but, you know. So I'm sure you have one boiling right now.
No, I don't. I wanted to know because I've never heard anyone ask me because people ask me, what's your favorite field you played at? Who was the toughest pitcher you had to face? Right?
Yeah.
This and that. What's it like winning a World Series? Right? And you're like, okay, ask me something different.
Yeah. Well, I haven't gotten those different questions yet. So it's very generic.
That's why you're here. We're asking you different questions.
Yeah. Well, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'll give you
Ask him
one.
about Pokemon store in Japan. What is your fascination with Pokemon?
You're a Pokemon guy?
I'm a Pokemon guy, yeah.
So I once pulled the Arena Club, and I went on Pokemon. And I was like, spend some money on this, and I got some card. I don't even know what it was, and on there they'll buy it back from you instantly, and it was like some gold something. I don't know what I'm like. Sell right away.
Yeah,
but you would have loved that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like. It's a childhood thing of mine, you know. It's something that me and my brothers grew up on, and it's something that we really enjoyed, right? And so I kind of never really got away from it, right? And it was more of like what kind of kept me in it was like the Game Boy Color games and, you know, stuff like that, you know, just passing the time and whatnot. And when I went to, it was always one of my it was on my bucket list to go to Japan, right? And then go, you know, see that side of the world and experience it. And then I had, you know, obviously the opportunity to go and do that. So I wanted to take full advantage of it. And I knew that they had a really, you know, there was a pinnacle Pokemon there. So as far as like the whole, you know, HQ or headquarters, whatever you want to call it. But so we ended up setting it up. And that was like, I felt like a little kid in there, and I was like, you know, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. My son did too. We had a great time, man. It was awesome. Great. And I think the coolest thing was, I know the Pokemon Cafe, I heard there was like a rumor or something where it's like, there's a waiting list. It's like almost like 3 to 6 month waiting list. And like, they were like, no, you go in and get it, you know, experience it. And, you know, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, the whole experience of it all was really, really nice and inviting, and it was everything that I would think it would be. And so it was really fulfilling for me. So
cool.
Yeah.
Real quick, favorite tattoo?
My favorite tattoo?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have a lot to choose from here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I you know, the one on my back is pretty cool, but then this one means the most is like, you know, watching my son It's an eyeball with a little guy in there.
Okay.
So it's like watching him grow up and stuff like that. And then also the 555 was the time he was born. So, I mean, those are really cool little tattoos that I like. But like, yeah, I would say the favorite one would probably be between this one and the 555.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, we appreciate it very much. Thanks for taking the time. Best of luck in Minnesota. We always appreciate when players come on, and I know you're busy, so thanks so much, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It's good seeing you guys again.
All right, guys, our next guest is powered by Fox One. Always happy to have him on the show. And EK, you know this guy pretty well.
I know Julio okay. Once we bring Julio in, I'll introduce my guy.
Okay, very good. He's coming over now.
Beautiful. We'd like to enter into once he comes onto the screen and we get to see the beautiful face of Julio Borbon, the first base coach of the Dominican Republic, el primero base para jefe equipo in the WBC.
Oh, my goodness. Most recently, the first base coach of the Milwaukee Brewers, correct?
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
No,
Who cares about that?
Well, I'm just saying, big league club, just
nobody.
I understand.
Nobody knows.
I understand all WBC.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows who the first base coach is at Maryville right now. Everybody wants to know who the first base coach of the team that I picked to win the WBC, and I hope we can get into a little bit of chatter because this guy Julio, I'm sure he's listening, but Julio grew up in the DR.
Okay.
But went to the University of Tennessee. So I want to know if he was actually going to graduate from Tennessee or if he wasn't. And we played in the DR together. We played with the Aguilas. We were Aguiluchos together. So
that's quite the non-linear path. Dominican Republic to the University of Tennessee. Like, that's not a huge pipeline, I wouldn't think. DR to Knoxville.
I don't know how that works. I don't know big time college baseball like AJ knows. But
all right. This is powered by Fox One. There he is.
Can you guys hear me?
Now I'll introduce him. Wearing his DR gear, Julio Borbon, first base coach, primero base for the Dominican Republic, ex-teammate of mine, and also the Brewers first base coach too, like I said before.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited. Big fan of the show.
Thanks, Julio.
Thank you. It's
good to see you.
Julio, I'm really glad that Kratz could get a hold of you because I only saw you like 7 times in the airport in Phoenix. And you didn't ask me one time to bring you on the show. So you must have reached out to Kratz because, Kratz is like, oh, ex-teammate. Julio and I played together too, Kratz. Let's not forget that we played together.
Well, you look like you were quite busy moving all over the place. You told me you still had Florida going on. So I'm like, man, there's quite a bit. So maybe we'll catch up and do a little bit of this later on down the road. But here we are, WBC. So pretty ecstatic about this opportunity and what we're in the middle of right now. So exciting times.
Yeah, when I saw you coaching first base, when you guys were down in DR for the exhibition games, it kind of brought me full circle from when we played for the Aguiluchos and we were playing against Licey in that same exact stadium in Santo Domingo. And it was cool to have you on that team because you could give kind of the perspective where you lived in America, going to the University of Tennessee, but you knew the country, you knew the heritage, and to see you there, what was that experience like before we start getting into the actual tournament?
Yeah, it's a key word you mentioned, full circle. Even for me as a kid growing up there and being around all these figures, even the Juan Marichals, David Ortiz, and pretty much everybody that's around here, our clubhouse now, those are guys that I got a chance to watch when I was a kid myself. And, to be able to be a part of this staff and around this great group of players and seeing us being able to bring those guys down there, like me as a kid was able to watch them, was pretty special even for myself. So I was pretty happy and ecstatic about that and just, over the moon with the situation we're in and, excited to kind of keep this thing going.
All right, well, you're the first base coach. Some people think the first base coach is just a dude that carries all the drip and the swag that all the hitters get after they get a knock. And don't get me wrong, Dominican, you guys might lead the league in chrome. You're carrying a lot of stuff. Like, they need a wheelbarrow for you. But my question, because I know how good you are at picking tips of pitchers, for stealing bases, all that stuff, have they put a rein on you? Have they put the reins on you where you're like, look, like we can drive guys in from the parking lot. Don't let these guys run. Because I also see Juan Soto's out here. He wants to be a 40-40, 50-50 kind of guy. Like, is there a give and take there, or are you just full carte blanche and you do what you want to do?
For sure. And given the nature of the structure of this tournament too, Erik, it's like, there's so few games and we are trying to capitalize on everything. Yeah, there's a little bit of rain where we can kind of take opportunities when the shots are there. But as far as our roster, our lineup, I mean, you see the way it's structured. Like there's a lot of opportunities offensively without having to go the extra bag. There's been some opportunities where, we've kind of put guys on the run given certain situations. And, even having the opportunity to work closely with Pools and his staff has been phenomenal just to learn his style and the things that he wants to do and how he wants to approach this tournament, given that, the phase that we're in now, it's pretty much one game and then you keep moving. So we have to be smarter. We have to kind of make sure we're taking advantage of the things that are there in front of us, but also keeping in mind who's ahead. As you'll know, our lineup from top to bottom, those are things that we kind of always have to keep in mind.
Your lineup is unbelievable, top to bottom. There is not a hole in the lineup. And Julio, you know baseball very well. Obviously, you've been a part of it in the Dominican Republic. You've played parts of 5 seasons in the United States. You're a baseball man. And we always talk about with the WBC how much it means to the players to put on the jersey representing their country. What's the biggest difference in your mind for the Latin player versus maybe, guys not from the Dominican or Venezuela or Puerto Rico or those, Cuba, those types of places?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's something that I know has been a hot topic. It's just, as Erik was mentioning earlier, it's just a lifestyle down in the DR. The way that everybody's brought up there it's just different. Like it brings joy, unity. It's the way that people kind of live and go about it. Even throughout my experience as a player, the support that I got from the Dominican people, even the years that I got a chance to play down there, just walking down the street, how they recognize you, you're doing well. They all want to just praise you. If you're not, they want to let you know what you're doing wrong. Everybody wants to be a hitting coach. So it's kind of just a fun thing that you gotta kind of have to understand and embrace, because a lot of us grew up seeing that, watching all the players that I mentioned from previous generations, and the Vladdy Juniors, the Fernando Tatis, all those guys, among other ones, have grown up in clubhouses. They've seen a lot of things that they're not fazed by it, and it's kind of cool just to see coming full circle. And the way that they enjoy the game is something that I think brings the most out of them and definitely the country when it comes to bringing people together.
Who's the most impressive that you've seen in your lineup, whether it's as a person, as a player, anybody that you haven't interacted with before this WBC run that you guys are making?
Fernando Tatis obviously had a chance to have Julio and Soto last WBC and got a chance to work with him closely. Fernando, watching him, the work he puts in, the little details, just the way he wants to position himself in the outfield. Obviously, you have to keep in mind all these guys are great athletes. So watching the work ethic, the things that we talk about, the things that they point out even going into the game, noticing the details of the game, it's stuff that he's been around a baseball man like his father and just been watching baseball from a different perspective. And it's just been cool listening to him. And obviously, the whole roster. Obviously, seeing everybody come together, is very easy to forget that among all these superstars, obviously there's still a big challenge, and these guys have been able to overcome that, just being able to put their egos aside and understand that they're all coming for one purpose.
All right. Do the guys make fun of Austin Wells on the team? Because you're talking like Dominican royalty, and then you got Austin Wells, which I kind of connect with. I feel like he's the gringo that comes down to play winter ball and catches, and then everyone else is like, hey, come on, gringo, we're going to make you some Dominican food and all that stuff. But do they give him a hard time, or has he assimilated well into the group?
He's blended in awesome. It's been a big topic. I've actually had quite a few discussions with him about the culture, obviously his mother being from Dominican. It's been kind of cool seeing everything. Funny you mention it, because while we were down in DR, one of the coolest things, and this is kind of to encapsulate everything about the Dominican culture when it comes to embracing people and welcoming them. They were chanting "Vamos, primo!" The whole stadium broke out. It was like, "Let's go, cousin!" And it's like, you're one of us, they know that he took on the opportunity to represent us and fight for this cause and be able to kind of give it everything. And he's enjoyed it. He's taken everything in. I know some things are moving a little faster given just the way the tournament works, but he's enjoyed it. He's having fun. I think it's going to be something that he's going to cherish and never forget.
All right,
sure.
so the Dominican moves on to the semifinals if they do what correctly?
I think the little things that from here on, it's a lot of fundamental baseball, understanding, the situational hitting, understanding, like the execution of plays, obviously from the defense and the offensive standpoint, the pitching, which has been a big part of us. I think as you guys know, once these tournaments go down to just one game, obviously the offensive output's been there, but now a lot of these games obviously have a chance to be being played a lot closer. So we got to be paying attention to a lot of things from backing up, doing all those things, executing, making sure the outs that are given to us, we take them and just run hard. Everything that we've been able to do, just make sure we keep doing it because some of those runs are obviously going to be scarce now, and we got to kind of take advantage of that.
All right, you and I have been texting, trying to get you on the show for the last week. Your schedule's a little bit different. One of the other hats that you wear is you're like the field coordinator kind of thing, that you coordinate the schedule. And the one thing you told me was, hey, Pujols wants to have PFPs, so that they can get it, you guys can get it done before, these final games. And then they threw one away last night. Were you like, hey, whoa, I scheduled that. I scheduled the PFPs. What are we doing here? When Elvis Alvarado threw it away, you guys ultimately ended up winning, but maybe you didn't schedule good enough PFP like you told me you were going to.
Yeah, it's funny. It was a topic for sure after the game. We actually have it again today. Pujols has been awesome at making sure that despite the powerhouse and the lineup that we have in bullpen and arms, like that, we do stay on top of those details. He's been awesome with that. We have it again today. We're going to continue to have it the further we go because we understand that winning these games, these things matter. And, obviously, unfortunately, that was one that reflected, but it's also a good reminder that, even when you don't do everything, like sometimes it doesn't work out. But one thing that guarantees not succeeding is not preparing. And one thing that we're going to do and make sure that we have these guys is on top of those details, because obviously they have the talent, but when it comes to coming together, especially this group who hasn't seen each other being around for as long as we would like to, we got to kind of keep staying on top of that. And we're going to reiterate that. We're going to do it again today. And any chance we get on practice days, we're going to continue to do it.
Best dancer on the team. You guys are having a flippin' party. All by doing the things the right way too. You're producing, so you're allowed. Nelson Cruz. All right. So who's the who's the best dancer?
Fernando has to be at the top there. I think just the way he's just so gifted. He just moves the way his body. He's very gifted. He's a dancer. Maybe his mom taught him. I think it runs in the family, but he's got to be at the top for me.
Julio. Mike Herman should not be allowed to dance or in any videos. He is not from Dominican, okay? We're at Twins camp. He is not Dominican. I know Nelly brought him in as the traveling secretary for the Dominican. He should not be allowed to be in any videos or ever dance.
Hey, he's had his handful, man, with this tournament. And I think given the fact that he's already done this, he understands the logistics. But, yeah, he's enjoyed it. He's one guy who's taken it all in time about everything that when it comes to hotels, rooms, or anything. Earlier, I've been doing a little bit of that. I've been working closely with him, and even from my Twins days, we know each other. So I'll make sure I relay that message and let him know here in a little bit before we leave.
All right. Last one from me. Albert Pujols, you mentioned it before. His name's been brought up to be a big league manager. You've seen what it takes to be a big league manager. Does he have it? And if he does, what's the one thing that he needs to work on a little bit before he really gets that solidified role?
I think Pujols absolutely has it. I think that his presence, obviously everything as far as his resume speaks for itself. The way he commands the room, the way he interacts with players as a group and individually has been, for me, very eye-opening. I've been able to take away quite a bit from that interaction. Obviously, not ever having been able to be a part of his staff or work closely with him has been pretty cool. As far as something that I think he needs to work, I think it's just continue to get more experience. I think one thing is to, have had played, and another one with the things that he's already done, having one down in the DR, being able to understand like the things that go on in the game. He's kind of getting everything now kind of checked off as far as those things. So, but thinking about it, like I think he's as prepared as anybody, and that's one thing that he does. He's constantly, wanting me to do certain things about the schedule or staying on top of or giving ideas. And ironically too, one thing that surprised me is like he wants a back and forth. It's not like just a one way or the highway. which has been cool. He wants input. He wants to make sure that everybody, any ideas that we have, we bring in forward, and that we're very open to him, because he understands that there's some blind spots or things that, despite what he's done, that he might not be able to see. And I think he's as ready as anybody can be with what he's accomplished so far. So,
Julio, thank you so much for your time. It's good to see your beautiful face again, and good luck in these next 3 games.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good luck, Julio. This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Fox One is now live. Stream all of your Fox favorites together in one place. From MLB postseason to NFL on Fox to Big Noon Saturdays with Fox One, you get it all live. Start your 7-day free trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox One for complete terms and conditions. Fox One, streaming now. Time to slap hands. Our spring training tour, brought to you by Fastenal, continues. AJ continuing his time on the road. He is in Florida, but he will be at Red Sox camp tomorrow. A lot of excitement there when you're looking at the guys that are participating in the WBC, particularly their position players, Wilyer Abreu, Jarren Duran, Roman Anthony, so on and so on. AJ, what are you most looking forward to when you sit down and talk to these guys?
Just seeing how they reacted to the offseason. The Red Sox went out and got a bunch of pitching. They traded for Contreras, who's obviously still in the WBC, but just sitting down and talking to him and how they can get better, because they made the postseason last year. They have one of the best starting pitchers and one of the best starting rotations in baseball. Let's see if they can continue it and take the next step, because that's what all Red Sox fans expect at this point.
Yeah, they didn't do a ton, and they had a lot of money and didn't do a ton with it. Obviously, Alex Bregman is now a member of the Cubs. Rafael Devers, the money, and he's in San Francisco. All right, time now for Kratz Hatz. What do you have, BK?
Easy peasy.
Nice.
I'm going to wear all my spring training hats, except for when we do our post-game shows. It's so sick. I didn't really show before, but they got the nice insignia on all the Florida hats, and then the Florida ones on the side also has the palm tree, 26. Doing it right.
Yeah, the Cactus League ones with the cacti kind of look like a little emoji or thing with the like Super Mario Brothers. It's a little strange.
I like the Florida one better.
I think Grapefruit League looks a little bit better. All right, guys, appreciate it. I think tomorrow is an all-players show. So we have AJ, we have Todd, we have EK. They've kicked Scott Braun to the curb, apparently. Great to be with you guys today. Enjoy. Don't forget Dodgers territory coming up 3 p.m. Eastern. Myself and Katie Wu. We're going to be talking about the Padres as one of the threats to the Dodgers in the National League. All right, guys, be well. Talk to you soon.